Hello and welcome. It's me again, Odera Onu. There's a lot to talk about. Hi, Jonero. There's a lot to talk about. I really wish we can deal with. Hi, Kenny Frosh. I really wish we can deal with everything that I have in mind to say today. And for the better part of this life, I'm not going to allow people to come and join me because I don't want to be distracted. Right. The mediocre mentality of Nigerians. What is mediocre? There's this fly that is flying in my room that doesn't want to leave. I've opened all the windows, doesn't want to go out. What is mediocre? Mediocre means settling for less in layman's language. Just settling for less. When you can't achieve, sorry for that. When you can't achieve, greatness, when you can't achieve something good for yourself and you settle for whatever, you settle for less. That is what mediocre is. Yeah, my children are just jumping like upstairs and it's hitting boom 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 on the what do you call this thing, on the decking. So yeah, mediocre mentality of Nigerians. Today I'm not happy. I am not happy. There is strike in Nigeria. There is this standoff between Labour Congress and the federal government of Nigeria. Hi Nena. But today I want to speak to the general mentality of Nigerians. First of all, I've laid the foundation. Odumeje said it. We are all illiterates. Let's stop bragging about master degree, professor, or whatever things that we acquire in the four walls of a university, because it has never helped us. It has not helped us to be a producing nation. I've treated the topic. We've settled it. Businesses and apprenticeship and innovations from people that are not even as educated as those of us that went to university is what is even adding the little bit to the society that we have. And I want to take this opportunity to sort of thank somebody like Dangote. I think he's highly recommendable what he done. I think it was CNN that came to Nigeria to sort of interview him. And he said that when he started the idea of building a refinery, of course, Otodola said that him and Dangote approached the federal government to buy over, our refineries, the ones in Warri and Kaduna, to refurbish. But then one government gave it to them, the next government took it away from them. I don't want to go into the politics of that. But that led to the fact that, Dangote started a private venture to build a refinery. And because he needed a construction company, Dangote set up a construction company. In fact, set up about 7 different companies to be able to achieve his aim. And the interviewer asked, okay, now that you've achieved your aim, what are you going to do with all these companies? I said, I guess we're now into construction business as well. So what does this tell you? This tells you that if you really want to be progressive, if you really want to beat, Dangote said for every 100 naira, government takes 40 naira from him. That's 40% tax on profit. That's madness. You are not allowing people to strive. I've said it so many times. What Japan is charging on loans in Japan is about 0.05, and America is 0.5. In Nigeria, is upwards of 30%, and there is no way we are going to grow up like that. But you still have some enigmas, some business tycoons that understand, the in and outs of business. So even though people might buy cement on a very high price, at least it paid off that at least that refinery is now, productive or working. But then I want to speak to the general mediocre mentality of Nigerians, because I've been going into different lives online, and you will see full-grown men and women sit down, and what they are discussing or analyzing is a girl requesting 20 million to be laid. It speaks to the foolishness of Nigerians, how people can create time, whether it is social discussions or whatever. Why would you create time to sit down and all you're analyzing with all the problems in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world, is a girl that said on a podcast that she wants 20 million naira to be slept with. That's her decision. We have very serious issues in Nigeria that any little buzz on the internet, all of us will foolishly pick up our phones and start entertaining thoughts, and people argue nonsense in and out. And when I go to these lives, I just look at it and I shake my head and I'm like, okay, these guys are not ready. And our politicians know this. They are watching us as we are watching them. As you are criticizing them, they are looking at you. They will not come openly and criticize you. But moving on from that, I'm not discussing it, I'm highlighting it. Now, moving on from that, I watched the Mycon podcast. Shehu, and I really want to use this opportunity again. Sorry, I've thanked Dangote. I also want to thank Innocent before I move on from that. What Innocent is doing in Nigeria is underappreciated. Innocent has donated a fire truck to Abia State government. Do you know what it is to have a fire truck made by a Nigerian? The media will not hype it. They will not speak highly of this. They will not advertise this to go haywire. It was blogs that picked this up. And that's the silliness. This is what angers me a lot. We leave the things we're supposed to be hyping. A Nigerian produced a fire truck. Something that is so much needed in Nigeria. I've dealt on fire as a topic. We need fire trucks in every state, in every crooks and cranny, because there's always fire. There's an accident that happened in somewhere in Anambra State. It's about three trailers with a keke, with bus. So many people were crushed. A small child's brain was crushed on the road. So many people died in that accident. These are things you will not probably see on the internet. You know, a lot of things happening in the country. Not all of them make it to the news. Not all of them make it to the internet. Do you understand? So when we have positives, it is for us youth to push it out there. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, we are fighting for our survival. People are not even awake enough. People are not even conscious enough to realize what is going on in Nigeria. That actually it is almost a do or die affair in terms of survival for the common man. Now, I was listening to my podcast by Sheun. Again, I want to appreciate, like I said, I've appreciated Dangote, I've appreciated Innocent, God bless you, Innocent. I've appreciated, I also want to appreciate Airpeace for what he's doing. So these three people, God bless you, Dangote, God bless you, Airpeace, God bless you, Innocent. Now, moving on, I want to appreciate Sheun Akimbaloye. Yeah? That guy is very cerebral, and he's one of the few Nigerians media gurus that is actually making an impact. Yes, I've got 2 accounts because there was a time Instagram was threatening to close this one. So I opened another one, right? I have 2 accounts, but this is my main page. I use this one mainly to go live. So, yes. So, you know, Shehu Akimbaloye hosted that live and had in attendance Tanko Yanusa, which is the Labour Party spokesperson, and also had in attendance a guy called from Edo State. He's called Kasim Afebua. This guy moved from PDP to APC. So again, the problem I have with Nigerians, especially the political allies or players, you know, because sometimes it's not the leaders that are the problem. It's the people praising the leaders. It's the people that are in the ears of the leaders that is the problem. Because sometimes if the shock absorbers, which is those people that speaks to the leaders, that have access to the leaders, are not there, and the leaders can hear what the people are saying, maybe things can move forward. This guy spoke on that podcast of an hour something minutes that I watched, and I felt so bad about the mentality of Nigerians. Shehu actually asked him, "You've left PDP, supporting Atiku now," and then he said, "Oh, he's been in serious discussions. He's been, you know, in meetings where, you know, the matters of Nigerians are being finalized and discussed and blah blah blah." At the end of the day, when he landed his point, I looked at him and I shook my head. Dude actually said, "Nigerian politics is not about being holy. The Nigerian politics is about how did he even say it? Is it building roads and kineko, and then, benefiting from that? That if you want to be holy, or if you want to make heaven, that you should go and build a church or a mosque and then, become a chief imam or a pastor. I looked at that guy, and then when he finished, he was even attacking Tanko, right? Who was speaking about P2B and how P2B could have done better. Because the lies they will tell Nigerians is that, oh, forget it. P2B would have done the same. In fact, it would have been worse. P2B cannot fix it. P2B does not have the muscle to do anything. They are giving you all these lies so you can accept mediocrity, guys. I am very, very proud of the National Labour Congress for what they are doing. It's high time you put your feet on the ground. Go and look at what I posted on my page, right? I'm going to look at it also on my second page. I said it on my last live here when me and these guys are arguing. I said to them, listen, Nigerian politicians are the most paid in the world, yet the poverty capital of the same world. So how can we pay the highest to our politicians, and yet we are the poverty capital of the world? Look at this. Look at this. From 1999 to 2024, our national minimum wage for all Nigerian workers, including our teachers, have only increased by 27,000 naira. From 1999, which is when civilian rule came into effect in Nigeria. And this is why people are clamoring for military rule, right? From 1999 to 2024, all we have is 27,000 naira increase. Now, check the other side. From 1999 to 2024, our National Assembly have increased their budget, their own money, their own take-home, their own salary, from 2.2 billion to 344.9 billion naira. That is an increase of 342 billion 700 million. Yet Nigerians are there talking nonsense. Yet Nigerians are not awake. I want the National Labour Congress to put their foot on the ground and insist that they get a living wage. I saw the nonsense that Reno was writing. I saw the nonsense that he was writing. How can you tell us that we should accept 80,000 naira? So a family of 4, how much goes to school fees? How much goes to feeding? Can you break down 80,000 naira divided by 30? How much is that per day? How much is that per hour? How much goes to feeding? How much goes to anything? Is it fetching water? How do you run a home with 80,000 naira as a man? We're talking about how many people are striking today. The whole country is shut down. Electricity, everything. Everybody is on strike. And some people will still have the guts and tell us that Tinubu, you cannot use 1 year to get him right. You have 4 years, you've done 1. You are into the second year, you have 2 years. How many more years? When it was 6 months, they say 6 months is too small. 1 year, if you reach 4 years, they will say it's too small. That the mess that Buhari created cannot be fixed in 1 day. Why are we lying to ourselves? Why are we lying to ourselves? Can Nigerians please wake up? We are before our very eyes. We see what is happening in other African countries. We're not going to talk UK today. We're not going to talk America today. Let's use African countries. Tanzania turned off their grid that they have too much electricity. Ghana just signed a nuclear deal. Ghana actually calls Nigerians on Banta on Twitter. They call us generator country. You know how crazy that is. A country that will send their people away. Ghana must go. The popular bag, as Ghana must go. We use it to send Ghanaians away. How can we accept mediocrity to this level? How are we so comfortable with nonsense? And this guy I'm telling you about, this so-called Kasim Afebua, was busy talking. The only sensible thing he said there is that the minister needs to be reshuffled. That the ministers of the cabinet of Tinubu needs to be reshuffled. That was the only sensible thing. And when they asked him, which minister do you want to see go out, he doesn't want to mention. And then Tanko said to him, because you don't want to lose your bread. Because all these guys are just hopping from one office to the other in the federal government just to get some food. That is the problem we have in Nigeria. Most of our politicians depend heavily on the national cake. They depend heavily on sharing the money. So by the time they finish sharing, there's nothing for you. In the UK, if you are in the parliament, okay, I said that I'm not going to use UK, but it's just a quick example. There is something that this guy, Solomon Bushi, posted today. And he clearly stated that we should blame the government and not the people in Nigeria. Yes, for me, I would say blame both, because I saw another post by Lord Zeus where a new bridge, brand new bridge in Onitsha, somebody went there and tried to steal some part of the metal part of the bridge. And that is actually what carries the bridge, because that's where he expands and contracts, depending on the weather. You are taking it because you want to go and sell it to iron condemn, scavengers. So that's a people's problem and not a government problem. But again, if you don't feed the people, survival of the fittest, they want to survive by any means. They don't have any welfare system, no food. What do you want them to do? But I don't want to go that route. Now, so coming back to what Solomon Buchi said. Solomon Buchi said that in the 1 year he's left Nigeria, he has seen what it means to live in a civilized and a country that have sense. Police are not harass you. And he said, EFCC, jump the fence. You jump fence, so enter person compound. Went straight to the CCTV, knocked it out, and then he wanted to arrest people. For what? What evidences have you got? Where is your search warrant? Nigeria is where you live and you have your heart. Like your life can go at any time. And they will say Nigeria has happened to you. It's a problem. And people will still come out openly to support those people. Now, when you're supporting those people and they are watching you, what do you think they will do? Change or be worse? They will tell you with a more harsher blow. How do you tell me that you cannot pay? Listen, they can pay Nigerians 1 million naira a month if they can, if they want to. This is it. How many senators do you have? How many people do you have in the Senate for them to be sharing 29 million naira, almost 30 million naira monthly? They even have what they call wardrobe allowance. Somebody you pay basic salary of 2.something million, you pay hardship allowance. Imagine. Your lawmakers are getting hardship allowance of 1 million, constituency allowance of 4.9, that they don't do anything. The bridge some of them built, they can't even work on it themselves. Like in the case of Desmond Elliott. Furniture allowance, newspaper allowance, newspaper allowance in this day and age. Yes, accommodation allowance, utility allowance, entertainment allowance, personal assistant allowance, vehicle main allowance, and you still buy another brand new vehicle of 160 million. You still give them allowance of it, 1.8. You give them leave allowance, severance, gratitude allowance, motor vehicle allowance again. After vehicle main allowance, you still give them motor vehicle allowance. See, guys, look at what I'm reading here. Look at it. It's on my page. This is Nigerian senators, the highest paid in the whole world. Instead of us to have cerebral youth to be engaging, making noise about these things, we sit down and be talking about a useless girl that said she wants a 20 million naira. Peter, please, I want to release some thought process before I bring people on. So for me, I am very angry. How do we have people? This is why I said Nigeria don't have any ideology. You jump from PDP, you become APC. From APC, you jump back to... the man was busy trying to condemn Labour Party and condemn Peter Obi. Fair enough, let's condemn Peter Obi. Condemn Peter Obi, paint all of them with the same brush. Does that justify what you are doing? On what indices can you qualify Tinubu that is working? How can you qualify? Every indices is in red. And that's what, and I really want to commend Shehu. Shehu was telling him the truth. We cannot be making excuses for government. And this is what pains me. Anybody that gets any little chance like Bongoli that went to the TV, what is he doing there? Making excuses. You can't be making excuses for something you want to change. You have to tell them the truth. Like I said, the only truth this man said was that the minister didn't reshuffle. All other thing was making excuses. And while he was in PDP, these are the same people he was criticizing. But because Atiku said he wants to run an election in 2027, he jumped out of there. And now, all of a sudden, the same people you've been criticizing, you are not justifying what they are doing. Who told you that you have to justify? Make it make sense. Because you're a card-carrying member of APC, must you justify? Can't you learn from Wike? Wike was a PDP card-carrying member, still was fighting Atiku. Whether he is right or wrong, I'm trying to bring out a point. Must you defend your party? Can Nigerians be sensible to understand that you cannot be making excuses for your slavers, people who are your oppressors? You cannot be making... See, this is my post on my other page. Look. The worst part of a society manipulated by politics is to see the poor defending the rich who are responsible for their poverty. Why are you defending the rich? People who have put you in abject poverty, you are defending them. Why are you defending them? What are you defending them for? Anybody defending Tinubu or defending APCs, you are crazy. Nigeria, all of us, you see, a lot of us now have accepted that we are corrupt. We also have accepted that we are mad. Now we need to start looking for solution for these two things. We have mediocre mentality. We settle for the less. And people will say, oh, it is not possible. What do you mean it's not possible? How much is 400,000 with the exchange rate? It's not possible. But then somebody raised the fuel price from 63 naira to 1,000 plus. It's possible. Bag of rice that we used to buy 5,000 naira for a bag is now almost 70,000. That means your minimum wage that they are proposing, which is 60,000, cannot even buy you one bag of rice. Are we mad or something? And then you're asking why there is Yahoo boys, you're asking why there are prostitutes, you're asking why there is wrong girls, you're asking why a small girl will come and say, give me 20 million. Are you crazy? Can Nigerians fix up? And I'm talking to even the political class. Tell this man he doesn't know what he's doing. How can you, in a country that is saying that they need you to increase the minimum wage? I'm talking about both the private sector, both the public sector, all of them. How can somebody go and apply for a job, a nurse, and you are giving the little girl 17K? What does 17K do? How much is it for transportation to come to the work in the first place? How is he going to feed? Are we crazy? And then you go somewhere else and they say 20,000, 30,000 for a full teacher, 30,000 naira. And what do you want them to teach the children? Oh, but they're not going to teach you nothing. Your workforce, the people that drives the economy, the people that, do you know you see Nigerians, we don't get sense normally. But let me tell you guys, in case you don't know, there are professions that are very, very sensitive in a society. Everything is about money. There are people that doesn't have to, they don't have to anchor on money to do their jobs. You see doctors, you see nurses, you see pharmacists, you see pastors as well, you see teachers, professors, lecturers. These people might not earn so much money, but these are people that shape your minds. These are people that bring out all your workforce combined. Do you understand? And then you have people that work in the power sector, the oil sector, and all the rest. Everybody is important in their own quota. But you cannot be treating these people. Okay, look at Ababio. Ababio say pay them 35. Very useless, the most useless human being. And he's still enjoying the seat of his Senate. He's been in power from the time of being governor. Ababio has been in politics for how long? And then NDDC, now, of course, a Senate leader. With all the nonsense he's done, with all the 120 million naira to put one, one street light. All of that down the carpet. He's proposing 35. See the kind of heart these people have. And somebody will come and be justifying APC. And I was listening to the guy when he said, oh, rotation is good. After the north, it's supposed to come down to the south. If you're telling yourself to the truth, when he came down to the south, is it Yorubas are supposed to bring out another president when they've had Obasanjo and they have south produce? Is it not supposed to be southeastern? If you're really sensible. I'm talking to that guy called, what's his name again? Kasim Afebua. We don't want to tell ourselves the truth. And our history is highly distorted. What I've actually noticed, both my research online and offline, both oral and written, is that a lot of people have very divergent and very dissenting history. Depending on which book you read or who you listened to or who told you the story, nobody understands what's happened. Somebody told me over the weekend that the reason why the coup happened in the first coup in 1966 was because they wanted to release Awolowo, who was held in Calabar. And they wanted Awolowo to come and take over for a better government because they saw that the people in power then was corrupt. That coup failed. And what's supposed to be a military exercise was now converted to a civilian mass murder. Now, to protect his people, Ojukwu declared Biafra. Now, Gowon said no. Even after they decided in Aburi to go separate ways. And that's how the war started and ensued. But people have left that accusing finger everywhere, blame game everywhere. Now, what was another thing that I've actually learned is that before all of this, the Igbos they were doing well across Nigeria. People were living well in harmony. Igbos have a lot of houses in the north. So there was no born hatred or rift between Yorubas and Igbos as such, or Yorubas and Hausas as such. It was the genesis of the problem we have in Nigeria was from that war. So unless we understand that history very well, there was a military exercise done by 5 Igbos and 1 Yoruba, and the intent was not a tribalistic coup, but actually to remove a corrupt government and bring people that will work for the people. But that was misinterpreted by the North. Misinterpreted. And then at the end of the day, it has gone down the way it has gone down. Now, if Tinubu managed to bring down regional government, all the blame game of ethnicity will go away. Still maintain a federal government, give autonomy to the regionals, and allow them to manage some level of their economy or for some level of their, give them some powers. Maintain the police being federal and the military and navy, everything being federal for the territory of the Nigeria, but allow them to have just what the UK is practicing. It's as simple as that. That will at least solve one problem. Nobody will be blaming anybody anymore. You go and blame your own leader. If you can do that, if Tinubu can do that, that will be a legacy that cannot be wiped away. And he has nothing to lose. He's an old man. It's not like Peter Obi that will say, oh, if they kill him, he's a young man. No. Tinubu has nothing to lose. So if he can achieve that for Nigerians, that will put permanently down. Nobody will blame anybody again. Face your leader. Just like he wrote a letter to the Arewa saying to them to face their governors. Give them one figurative head. So regional will solve that problem. I don't care any other. I've spoken to a lot of people and everybody seems to be excited that if Tinubu can do this, they will be happy. Because one of the problems, the core foundational problem we have in Nigeria is unity. Because that coup happened just few years after we got our independence. And that's why we've not gotten it right since then. If you speak on solution, people will assess you first of all, where are you coming from? Oh, maybe he has a plan. We can't trust these people. These people are like this. People are like that. Meanwhile, before that coup happened, all Nigerians were doing business everywhere. Everybody was living peacefully. No, it will not lead to war. The reason why that war happened then was because it was military. If you keep regions and tell the Arewa, listen, first this is your people, this is your leader. The central will still control police, just like the governor does not have power over police. Let it still stay on the central. But let the economic, the educational, everything lie on that regional administrator. That's what will solve Nigerians' problem. In fact, you can even devolve power to local governments, give them that regional administrator, so that they will have somebody to blame for their problems. So that nobody will feel like it is... Because if we keep talking about giving everybody equal representation, some people will be scared that if you have power and control the army and the police, you will run away. Right? You will secede. Okay, keep everybody one, control the police and the army so nobody will secede. But give people power to their regions so that they will be productive. So that people will go back to their region and be producing anything they want to produce and run their place the way they should have run it. That is what I'm saying. They not have a lot of resources, so they have gold. You know how much gold is worth? South have oil. Southeast have oil. Southwest have a lot of minerals, cobalt, all the rest. Nigeria is filled up with minerals. In fact, if you even want to say, let something like oil still be owned, or let mineral resources still be owned by federal government, go ahead and do it. If you even say that, okay, some regions we give this amount of money to the central, go ahead and do it. But let us at least solve this problem of everybody pointing accusing finger at everybody. That thing has messed us up. When we have a national issue that we are supposed to deal, people will be looking at people. Okay, imagine that podcast. The thing that this guy continued to hammer on was that Peter Obi is an Igbo candidate. That 70% of Labour Party's, what did you call it again? That they passed the Secretariat for Obedient Movement. That 70% of them are Igbo. Tell me one. I'm asking this question. Tell me one Igbo politician that supported Peter Obi. Igbo politician. I did not say Igbo people. Tell me one Igbo politician that supported Peter Obi. Do you know that there is none? Is it Soludo? Is it Hope Uzodinma? Is it what's the name of Guruburu again? Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, or is it Dave Umahi? Or is it Okezi Bazu? Who supported Peter Obi? Tell me. Out of all the governors of the East, none supported Peter Obi. All the politicians, because they knew the man does not share money. So when they say 98% of Igbos supported Peter Obi, the same 98% supported Goodluck, the same 98% supported Yar'Adua, the same 98% supported Obasanjo. Can we stop all this tribalism? If we can move to regional, everybody will leave Igbos alone and face their front. Igbos have never been in presidency, but yet we are blamed for all the problem in Nigeria. Because people have refused to leave this tribal sentiment. And now they are bringing and spreading this fallacy that if you bring back a regional government, that Igbos will run away. Let me tell you something. 5 or 6 people planted a queue. There has been queue planned by Gideon Oka. There has been queue planned by some other people. Even Buhari had a queue. Abacha had a queue. Babangida had a queue. So it does not mean that when 5 or 6 people do something, because majority of them are Igbo, you target an Igbo coup. Look at all the African countries that have had coup, that have had coups. Nobody talks about region because Nigeria is not one identical country. That is the main problem. One of the worst things that the British did was to merge Nigeria into one. That's one of the worst decisions they made. They wouldn't have done it. When India was to get independence, Pakistan said no, divide us as you are getting this independence. That is exactly what they would have done. But because of Nnamdi Azikiwe, who again is an Igbo man, he said no, that Nigeria is one indivisible, whatever. Now, some people are saying that the reason he said it was that Igbos are already everywhere, that Igbos are travelers. Igbos don't travel more than the Fulanis and the Hausas. These are the people that will rear cow from place to place. All the forests, they know every part of Nigeria. But the point is, even if we don't have secession in our destiny or referendum in our constitution, it's human beings that wrote it. We can add it and solve this matter once and for all, so we can move on. So that somebody like Peter Obi will not come and people will just slap him with that demonizing word, Igbo. Because once they call you Igbo, it's as if all of a sudden you are a demon. You cannot, anything good cannot come from you again. And people will leave Peter Obi and be compared. What baffles me is how people compare. He got to a point, Tanko told the man and said, listen, I am a full-blown Hausa man. I am from the north. I won 8 polling units for Peter Obi. My people voted for him. Datiaba Ahmed is from the north. Peter Obi has been all over the country helping people. People are still blinded by where he's from. He's Igbo man. He's Igbo man. Oh, he's Igbotic. Everything he's doing is Igbotic. That's what a whole politician that said he's been in politics since Babangida time is saying. See, unless we deal with these issues, imagine Reno accusing Labour Congress that they are fighting for Labour Party, that they are fighting for obedient movement, that he is working with Peter Obi to destabilize Nigeria. Accusations like that will tell you that even the so-called illiterate elites and the political class of Nigeria are still very tribalistic. I don't care see, I am very angry this night. Every Nigerian is tribalistic, extremely hatred. Like, the hatred they have for each other is extreme. Everything you thank Peter Obi, everything you call Peter Obi, what did Peter Obi do? A man that finished his government left so much money in the coffers to the point that another governor used the money he left to build a whole airport. For sure that till today, you don't see any good in him. But you see good in a man that approved 90 billion naira for Hajj. A man that approved 10 billion naira for the Senate to build a car park. A man that approved 10 billion naira for a school to build a car park. A man that approved how many trillion for a road, 700 kilometer road. We are very, very stupid in Nigeria. We are extremely dumb as a people. And sometimes when you finish watching all these things, you will say, yes, Nigerians deserve what they get. Nigerians deserve what they get, because I don't see how it makes sense that the only person trying to pull you out of that dungeon, trying to help you out, you are looking at him and saying he's Igbo. No, I don't want him to help me, I beg. He will kill me. But the same person you are waiting for to help you now has the rope. But instead of pulling you out, he's even throwing the rope inside. He has even thrown the rope inside. That means you don't have any way of coming out. All those people that campaigned for APC, they still, shame no, they still catch them. They said, oh, though the indices are this, it is labor pains. Very soon we start enjoying the delivery. Which delivery? Why the labor pains not start for National Assembly when they were approving 160 million? They quickly go and buy a car for themselves. They go to use una dumb brain, una dumb cells. They play. They give money to whoever they please. Do you know how much Nigeria makes every day? Do you know how much Nigeria makes every day? Do you know how much crude we sell every day? Mediocre sold our fuel, sold our crude in future. They sold your crude, your commonwealth. They sold it in future. That means we are in a point of not making any money even as we are going, because somebody have already collected the money. The same person reduced the production of our fuel. And you know what reduces the production? What reduces the production is, if this is the pipe that fuel is going to, the crude is going to, when you put another pipe here and you put another pipe here, the illegal pipes, the fuel will be dropping. What is supposed to be passing here will be reduced, because people are now plugging illegal place, in different places and taking fuel. That is why our production that's supposed to get up to 3 million, like Mediocre said, has dropped to 1.3. Just like what Prophet Major said, we are all illiterates. How do we, instead of engaging in very brilliant, and we have one of the best geniuses, in our media, helping us to bringing these things to our consciousness, we will leave it and jump on some stupid conversation on blogs and be talking nonsense. Shehu took it upon himself to even open a podcast to be speaking about the political situation of Nigerians, instead of Nigerians to get involved. My brother, I'm having headache. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but I'm so much burdened. I am so much burdened. Anybody that is defending APC till now, you're supposed to go and check your head. Even got to a point, I read a Bible passage and I posted. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 from verse 8 to 14. Read with me. Don't be surprised when you see that the government oppresses the poor. This is Bible. Don't be surprised. And denies them justice and their rights. Every official is protected by someone higher. And both are protected by still higher officials. Shall you they hear them? Nigerian matter de Bible. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 from verse 8. 9. Even a king depends on the harvest. That means your president is also depending on the money that comes from the country. Hold on. 10. If you love money, you will never be satisfied. Do you understand it? When I keep telling us that our value system in Nigeria is money. Once you have money, you are smart. Once you have money, once you have money, you become Oga at the top. Even police will worship you. Army will worship you. Everybody will worship you. Politicians will worship you. Pastors will worship you. Judges will worship you. In fact, you have almost a godlike figure just because you are rich in Nigeria. Once you have money, this is what the Bible says. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, I'm reading verse 10. He says, if you love money, you will never be satisfied. If you long to be rich, you will never get all you want. It is useless. I'm reading Good News version. Rad Bonki's version. That Bible, that red Bible used to share when it comes to Nigeria to do crusade. How many crusades do we do in Nigeria and share Bible these days? Even our church, I found one thing. And people don't know the reason you go to church. You don't go to church because you want miracle. You go to church because you want to make heaven. Because you want to be a better Christian. That's why they are milking you. I saw a post by Pastor Femi Lazarus. So he was saying, another post by another pastor where he says he raised the woman from dead. They use Dustin powder. Spray all the woman body. You go there on my stories, you will see it. When the woman came out from the coffin, she was jumping. You come out from coffin and you are jumping. Your front powder, your back no powder. They will deceive gullible Nigerians because they are mediocre, and they will be shouting and be praising and be clapping because all of them want miracle, and they will get deceived. Even in the Bible, demons did miracle. If you long to be rich, if money is the only thing you want in life, my brother, I don't care about money. If you chase money in life, you will never get all you want. As you are getting, even if you buy Birkin bag, buy Louis Vuitton bag, buy Gucci bag don't finish. Look at Linda and KG that used to flaunt all the bags and clothes and everything. She's the one dashing it out now for nothing. For nothing, Linda and KG, they dash her bag and dash her dress. She go even tag how much she buy them. Just to tell you it's nothing. I used to be crazy about clothes. I used to go on secret sales and be buying things. And later you're caught to me. All these things are nonsense. I don't care what I wear these days. Designer or not, I don't care. The richer you are, the more mouths you have to feed. The richer you are, the more mouths you have to feed. This is the Bible. All you gain is the knowledge that you are rich. That is it. The only thing, if David don't come tomorrow now and tell us he buy a new car, everybody go say, and that's it, he don't go. Because normally, you know, he's as rich to buy that car. If Bonobo make a video, make a gungu video, all his cars in his, if you video and finish, as far as you video, as soon as you video and we watch and we go just scroll past, we know say you get money. What else do you want to prove? The only thing a rich man gains is to show poor people that I can afford this. And poor man, no, I cannot afford it. Okay, you can afford it. Oh, but that's it, but it's your own. Not only you know how much you buy them, not only you wear them. How does it affect the other person that is not wearing it, that does not have it? So all a rich man has is knowledge that is rich. Knowledge, that is, that I'm reading Bible for you. I'm not making it up. It's on my page there. Workers may or may not have enough to eat. I'm talking about Nigeria. This is about Nigeria. This evening that I saw this scripture. Labour Congress, which is like the whole workforce in Nigeria, regardless of the sector, are all combined. Both airports, everywhere, electricity, everything, boboti, everything, all the workforce. They are on protest in Nigeria because our senators are the richest in the world. Our president is the most luxurious and lucrative in the world. Their fleet of cars, their luxury, their private, everything is extremely expensive. Yet you're the poverty capital of the world. And somebody is telling me that if it's P2B, you won't do any better. If it's P2B, you start by cutting all of those costs. You don't need to be wasting money when you are in the midst of hungry, destitute people. The richer you are, the more mouths you have to feed. All you gain is the knowledge that you are rich. Workers may or may not have enough to eat, but at least they can get a good night's sleep. These are things. This is why Ashake sang the song, lonely at the top, lonely, lonely, lonely. Don't be him be the first person to talk am now. Omar Sterling from Ghana, he also rapped it. It's lonely at the top. When it's only you that owns a skyscraper. You go to the top of that skyscraper, you go look everywhere at a bungalow. Have you seen Nigeria from the top view? From the area view? Zinc everywhere, and brown zinc everywhere. But you go see, once you see one nice roof, you go know. One rich person don't do the area. It's lonely at the top. Nobody to spend that kind of money with you. And the excuse that Kasim Ifebua was saying was that people are still doing Owambe. So they are even angry that you are doing Owambe. They want to reduce even more of you back into that poverty line so that they will be happy. You know, Nigerians, once they take their light, they will check if the other streets still have light. Once it is you and them, they go say, okay, now everybody, they will be happy. Once they are seeing light there and they don't have light, they are angry. Typical black people. Workers may or may not have enough to eat, but at least they can have a good night's sleep. The rich, however, have so much, but they stay awake worrying. Have you ever seen anybody in politics? Ask them. No, ask them. Ask all these your essay to governors, all these presidential aid and all that. They know they sleep. 2 a.m. the day meeting. They know they sleep. Now Bible talker. You go get the money. Forget government. Even ordinary rich people know they sleep. There are people, their life is work. They know money is there. But guess what? That money, now the knowledge that they have money, that is it. They will be helping people, solving people's problems. Even the people that they are dashing money, their gates men, their brothers and sisters, their cousins that they are sending to school, those people are enjoying life more than them. Because those people have more time to chill and enjoy themselves than them themselves making the money. Because they are always flying. If you see all these people flying up and down or going to different countries, it's not fun, no. Have you fly before? When you fly, come back, you have jet lag. You go one rest. Again, you are flying again. You just have the consciousness that you have money. But you will be tired. You will be extremely exhausted. And rich people will not tell you this. They don't sleep. Our politicians don't sleep. They stay awake 2 a.m. doing meetings, and some of them are unproductive. How many times have Labour Party met with the federal government? It's still never solved. Loose now. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 13. It says, here is a terrible thing that I have seen in the world. This is Good News Translation. Here is a terrible thing that I've seen in this world. People save up their money for a time when they may need it, which is true. All of you have savings. 14. And then lose it all in some bad deal. Where is the lie? And end up with nothing left to pass on to their children. Hey! If you read Bible, you will see that everything about this life is in the Bible. Where is the lie? You go see person, you go they walk, no holiday, you go they walk, you go save money, finish. As you save the money, person call am. There is one land in Nigeria. You go buy this land, or all those places they don't develop. You go send the money go. After 1 year, you go one go fence am. They go say they don't sell them to another person. That person is strong past you. Don't collect the land from you. Waste of money. All those hustle, all those midnight, all those being awake, all those suffering gone. People get duped in Nigeria all the time. So what's the point of keeping all of those money? What's the point of saving and wanting to be rich at the expense of other people? When at the end of the day, you can't even pass it to your children. You build house, you do everything possible to make money, and you build a house in Lekki, in the almighty Lekki, where a piece of land, 100 by 100, can go up to 200 million. At the end of the day, government will bring bulldozer. In fact, Lagos State government said now that they will start charging people for the money they pay for the bulldozer to knock down their houses. So you will see that in life, all these things we are doing, we must make money from, by all means. Let us steal money. Haven't you seen somebody that used to be a politician begging or trying to get back into powers because the money is not flowing again? Go and check governors of so many years ago and see where they are. Go and check them. Go and check them. You don't have it forever. You don't get to keep it forever. And this is what the Bible is saying. And then check their children. See if their children have as much money as they claim that they've left for their children. You see, we don't think about all these things. All we want to do is go steal, pack money. To what end though? Is it not better for you to make that legit money and know it is your money and sleep well at night? And if God blesses you, you can leave that little business or legacy for your children. Public funds, I'm telling you honestly speaking, public funds, whether it is church, whether it is politics, whether it is meeting, whether it is union, don't eat public funds. There is some cost. In fact, you see all those people they can fund for. You see all these people they can fund and donate money to go to school. I'm not a big fan of it. Don't dash me money. Don't can afford for me. I better go to one person. And I know that that person is praying for me. Is one person. Than to collect money from public. All of them will be costing me. Do you get to see that If you know they win election, nobody they curse you. Nobody they care about Atiku. Because nobody Atiku be president. Before Tinubu came into the picture, nobody care about Tinubu. Now Buhari or everybody they curse. But just because Tinubu don't enter, everybody don't they curse Tinubu. That's so life be. Because he's now in charge of our public funds. So by virtue of him being the president of Nigeria, he go they collect all the insults. The same thing goes for P2B. The day P2B goes in there, unless he's clean and innocent, otherwise, even Tanko said he will be the first person to call him out if he doesn't do the right thing. That's the thing with public fund. Stay away from public funds. Stay away from public funds. Verse 15. We leave this world just as we entered it, with nothing. In spite of all our work, there is nothing we can take with us. If this thing I've read tonight, Ecclesiastes chapter 5, from verse 8 to 15, Good News Translation. If this thing doesn't make sense to you, I don't know what else will make sense. You came to this world naked. Your mom gave birth to you naked. When you are dying, it's only the clothes they will wear on you and put pancake and cover your nose tree. At the end of the day, moth and what do you call it? All these earthworms, we eat the coffin, eat that your clothes, eat your flesh, only your bone go there down there. So why do we want to accumulate so much? One man alone took 80 billion and paid school fees for his children. Is it only school fees that children need? Your children are not going to need work. Your children are not going to need stability. That is not the way to go. Now, I also have another problem. The other side of the coin, of the same coin. There are few people in Nigeria that have been honest in service. This is something that people don't often talk about. But there are people who have also been very good to Nigeria in service. And guess what? Nigeria doesn't look after them. They die poor. This is not a popular topic or opinion, but this is the truth. There are people who have kept their hand clean and done the right thing, but the country, the government does not have a good reward system for them. So at the end of the day, they also die wretchedly poor. But Igbos have a saying that which means good name is better than money or wealth, right? It's better for you to die poor and have a good name than for you to steal money and also die wretched. Because at the end of the day, like the Bible says, you will still lose that money in a bad deal, which happens to everybody. That's why some people will say, there have been stories of so many people who used to be rich, who today are nowhere to be found. Money does not stay forever. There's no guarantee to it. So it would have been good if Nigerians have been doing things for the betterment of the poor. How can you be giving Senate 440-something billion? And then you're giving the whole workforce of the whole Nigeria less than that. Like what the Senate alone earns, what the National Assembly earns is bigger than what the whole workers in the whole Nigeria earn put together. Can you imagine that? If that is not wickedness, tell me what is wickedness. And Ababi opened his dirty smelling, corrupt mind to come and tell us that we should be giving people that 5,000 naira. In today's age, if that person wants to fuel his generator, how many liters can he afford? If he wants to buy food, how much is meat? How much is tomatoes? How much is ugu? If it's not pure wickedness, I don't know what it is. And then just will be making excuses. 1 year is still... That's how they will get to 4 years and tell you, don't worry. We've started in the right directory. Let us wait for another 8 years. Are you sure what you are saying? Have you verified those numbers? What numbers? I'm giving you 30, this thing. You just came in now. Go to my page. I think I forwarded all these things to you. It's not even me raising them. It is from 30 cents. Make I bring you up. Okay, let me bring you guys up. They'll be blaming Igbos, as if Igbos been in power. They will tell you, cool, 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 cool. There was a Yoruba guy in the coup. The intentions was for the country to be better. You turn it from military and shifted it to the civilian. Until today, you still hate Igbos. Yet, these Igbos have not done anything but prosper the nation. Can we leave all this nonsense and address the issue? Leave P2B because he's an Igbo man. Face the issue. Every day, Renault will be talking nonsense. APC will be talking nonsense through their spokespeople. They will be deceiving Nigerians, playing politics of tribe so that you guys will be focused on fighting for each other. Why they will be giving you the worst treatment ever? The Igbo man that is trying to tell you that these things these guys are doing is wrong. Now he's trying to help you out of it. You don't want to listen. Smoke. Blessings, bro. Who is here already? Who have I
Well
brought?
done. Yeah, well done, bro. Nami Peter.
Okay, now you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, go
my
ahead.
brother.
Yeah,
How you doing now?
I'm good. How are you?
My brother, we day, we bless God. See, Nsogbu Nigeria is so enormous that truly Akaji Nigeria.
Then
Eyotago.
what I can do in Nigeria, yeah, had Jehovah. They are the ones holding
No,
themselves down.
no, let me come. See, Nigeria is well crafted. It's like a script that had long been written, and the actors are now playing out this script over the years. Because all these political class, they are intentional in their approach to further, mess up the whole country. The more it's a pity. A problem Nigeria Afghan now is beyond what we are even seeing. Like it's beyond just physical. I'm telling you the
My
truth.
brother,
Because
please,
these people,
please let's not talk about spiritual here.
no,
I
hold
honestly,
on. I'm
if we are
coming.
doing the
I'm,
right things physically and things are still not working, then you can go spiritual. We've not even done the
yeah,
physical side.
yeah.
So I don't see
I
how
get your
spiritual.
point.
And kid, please, I'm asking you to give me. You see, I don't like saying things off my head. I like sending proofs to all these people. So I take my time. Once I see anyone, I will forward to them. So before I will start saying it, I will be making reference. There is a video that I posted where a woman said that the money that you pay to senators in Nigeria is more than, and I'm giving you figures, 340 something billion. Now, how many workers do we have in Nigeria, and what is 30,000 naira, which is currently what they are paid? Some state governors are paying 40,000 naira.
Bro, see, the point is that if we all know the truth, but those who are the helm of our affairs, they have deliberately decided to run this particular software they are running on the country in order to achieve their objective. And what is the objective? The objective is to crush people more economically, crush their minds more, so that whenever they call for re-election, even 2027 and beyond, when they give people one cup of rice, those people will not reason twice. They will gladly take that one cup of rice and vote them back. So it's more of like a captivity, sort of like, just like as it was in the Bible. The way Pharaoh was trying to deal with the Israelites during those years of their captivity. So my point is, these politicians are all in, it seems they are all in the same WhatsApp group, 99% of them. And they are so strategic. You saw how fast they were to push for the changing of the national anthem. Both the National Assembly and the president, how they passed it into law within few this thing and signed it and assented to. So it shows you that these guys, if they know what to do, they know the right things to do, but they are not doing it deliberately. So, and why I even talked about Nigeria's problem being beyond fiscal is when those who are custodians of power are deliberately enslaving the country or holding the country to hostage, they need something higher than them. I want you to tell them, Sabia. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Dara, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so My point is that the people holding our country hostage, the political class, they have shown that like they believe they can do anything they want to do. They are not reasoning right or wrong or morality or what they should know. They are doing what they want to do. So whether that thing is wrong or right, or whether it will crumble the country or the economy or the people, it doesn't concern them. So I believe so much that, man, Nigeria na-eme ka obodo abụla ọnụ. I'm telling you, is crazy. Onye ọkụ na-agbabi ya na-achụ oke. Okay, inflation is rising every day. Inflation rate na-achụ 40% also. You can google it. As at today, 30-something% inflation rate. It increases every day. Companies are shutting down. Name a Microsoft shut down the other day. If in Nigeria are now trying to establish over $1 billion factory in Kenya and Ghana. I don't know whether you saw it in the news. So these are the issues. The country is under should I say, under the grip of both Pharaoh and Nebuchadnezzar at the same time. And I think they need something greater than them, the political class. Yourself, Gomna, people's mind have been crushed already. All these things are as people think. All on the regional phone are thinking correctly. Are you getting my point? Ege Wolozishi, he sent they go 2 million to, back home for a project or to maybe establish someone or do whatever. Ina Ifune Ege send has lost value even before it arrives. Or Burudu to know like a non-working system, a non-working country. 1 cup of rice is how much there. So these are the issues, brother. I don't know. I don't just know. God has to just find a way, because the way I'm seeing it, Nigerians themselves, Ika people, the masses, and I don't even know. It's a compound complex problem. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hold on 1 second. Kid, listen to this, kid.
That thing is public knowledge now. He can Google it.
Hold on.
When the salary of National Assembly members is higher than
Peter, please hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you finish your question. If they like, we can say no. Say no, they fit that 50,000 naira when they come. Therefore, they're going to say a hungry man is an angry man. And when the hunters learn to shoot without missing, so the birds learn to fly without fetching. They go here and they go to. Look at the guy who go to and reach now, we go to walk out for street, they destroy them, they beat them. Because a hungry man is an angry man. As with the first show, my brother, as I come here this month to another show. Carry their children, give them money, they carry their children, go to better school. When they finish, they come roll their children in the house again. They will then say, experience, do you qualify? Do you have this qualification? Qualification of giving experience here. Qualification of giving. Nonsense people. Huh? Nonsense people. You know how much senator they collect a month? Even their essays, those days we go school, say we don't want the tax. Now tax be their essay and others, what they do for them. And you know how much they collect? They collect above 300,000-400,000 every month. If they say we know, for that people must sit down for touting. So that all of us go they do touting. So, when they do touting, then we'll come suffer, go school finish, now we'll come manage, come enter the civil service work, then they'll come and suffer off. They'll come and suffer off. Yeah? So as time goes on now, we go join the touting so that make all of us the tout better as it be. Yes. You go say make civil servant notice. My brother, if I get opportunity.
So this is the situation of the country. Now, kid auspicious, you like to engage me statistically by data, right? Now, I wish you were alive, but let's do this by virtue of your comments, yeah? You asked me a question. Let me find the question. Hold on, because you called me a baseless arguer. So you can find what is paid to senators is more than what they pay the entire labor force. That's your question. Okay, let me just pin it. Right? Kid auspicious, this is your question.
Odera.
Yeah?
Odera.
Yeah?
You know this guy, Boyokwe Manu. There is
No, no,
nothing
no,
you
no, no, no,
can
no, no,
tell
no, no,
him
no, 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 no,
that
no,
will
Peter,
make
Peter,
sense to
Peter,
him.
Peter, Peter, Peter,
He
please,
has
please, please,
chosen not
please.
to
No, Peter,
like
Peter, Peter,
reason.
please. You know, every time that people engage me intellectually, I defeat them intellectually.
No,
Please,
this is
let's
not
not play tribal.
intellectual because
Hold on,
you want a
hold
man
on,
is
hold on, hold
a
on,
blind
Peter.
argument.
Hold on,
He can
please.
just Google it.
He asked the question. Let's do mathematics. Let's do mathematics. The minimum wage kid is how much? Currently, it's 30,000 naira, right? That's the minimum wage. Now, I showed something. I told you that
$20.
before you came live.
$20,000. So
Uh, Peter, please mute your mic for a second, please.
oh,
Yeah, I want to show something because Kid Officials was not here because I started with showing these things, right? Now, from 1999 to 2024, our minimum wage in Nigeria has increased by 27,000 naira. Kid, 27,000 naira. Now, from 1999 to 2024, our National Assembly budget for themselves, their money for themselves, has increased from 2.2 billion to 344.9 billion. Now, what we are going to do is, now look at the calculation we are going to now do. 3.44.9 billion. Hold on. I don't know how I'm going to do this mathematics. Let's do it in calculator. So 3.44.9 billion. How many zeros make a billion? Is this a billion? Please, I will need you guys to help me. Is this the right figure? 3 point, so no, not 3.344. Is that correct? No, 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 no. I need us to do this together now. I'll show you. I'm asking you, is this the number of zeros in a billion? 344.9 billion. Am I correct? Is the number of zeros correct? How many zeros make a billion? Kid, I'm asking. You don't want to answer. I've taken 3 zeros out. So 334.9 billion. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to divide it by 30, by 30,000. So divide it by 30,000, which is the minimum wage. Yeah, right? And that is 11,495 people. So let's say, assuming the workforce in Nigeria is 11,000, what is correct? I think you probably have to join me. What is correct? The thing is that I don't have the reference now. I was trying to see if I can find the reference of where I heard that what the National Assembly, I don't know if they said with the presidency or if they said just this thing. But let's say that we have, I don't know how many we have in the workforce. I don't know the number of workforce that we have. But assuming we have the same number of workforce as 11,000, that means, or even as small as 10,000, that means we have more people. What the National Assembly is earning is more than what the normal workforce is earning. So first thing first, for us to, Kid, hold on. I'm looking for the reference, and believe you me, when I find the reference of where I heard that, I will send it to you. I've forgotten whether they said with the presidency, but let me ask you a question. Do we have figure of how many labor force we have, of their number?
Odora, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Before I talk, just hold on. Just give me a sec. Because I'm in the office, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. Odora, I'm not here to give you which number is right. And it's painful that that guy has gone. That guy that was speaking.
Ignore him. Go ahead.
Okay. So Let me be gentle on you, Ojera. First and foremost,
No, go full
wait.
armor. That's fine. I'm good going.
Hold on. First and foremost, Ojera, when you're talking to me, don't talk to me the way you talk to market people, with all due respect. When I'm talking, you are telling me to be listening to somebody that is saying Nigeria is this one. Nigeria, what is my business with you? You have not eaten. What is my business? That is not what we're talking about. You made it clear. You said the total amount that is paid senators is more than the entire labor force. And I told you that don't be making outlandish statement that you cannot substantiate. If I don't even need to pick, you know why I'm not answering you? I don't need to pick a calculator to know that that cannot be correct, right? First and foremost, the can you hear me?
I can hear you.
First and foremost, when you see National Assembly budgets, that is not the salary of senators. If you go and pick National Assembly budget, and me, you know me already, I don't like to the support politician. No. But I will not, in a bid to make a story look good, and be making claims that I cannot substantiate. When you see National Assembly budget, it is not the same thing as salary. Under National Assembly budget, you have the constituency allowance. Under that budget, there's something called National Assembly Institute. I don't know if you know what that means. They have an institute where I don't know. Are you listening to me? Baba, I
I'm
don't
listening. I'm
educate you. I
listening.
need you to
I'm
listen.
listening.
So
I'm listening.
under that budget, there's something called National Assembly Institute. It's like a school where they run that school and they do courses. They have people that they pay under that institute. It's part of the budget that they have. So the salary that they pay National Assembly members is just a percentage of the entire budget that you showed me now. You showed me budget now. They tell you that budget you showed me is not the salary of National Assembly members. It's the entire budget that they have, which includes everything that I just told you now, including all the legislative aids, including all the things that they are doing. All right, that is number one. Number two, the 30,000, you are picking 30,000, which is the basic salary of the minimum is the minimum wage, and it is a basic. You think you use that to multiply the number of workers that you have, and you think you get the amount that the government pays. Come on, Odera, you are smarter than that. That is the minimum worker, the gate man. That is what 30,000 will pay, and it is the basic. It does not put into consideration all the what's it called now? All the bonuses, all the allowances, and everything. There are workers that go home with as much as 3 million in a month. Have you factored that in? And you are picking just
33 million of who? Workers, which work?
there are workers that go home with as high as 2 million, 3 million in a month.
In which sector?
Baba, it is not your place. It's not my place to say. If you don't know, you don't know. I'm telling you.
But again, you want me to prove my own claim, but your own, if I don't know, I don't know.
Baba, what I told you now is very clear now, because everybody, any idiot knows that 30K is just a minimum wage. And then minimum wage means that the least person, the minimum you can get, whether you're a gate man. So if you now have several levels, up to level of maybe 17, level 18 and everything, depending on what sector that you are you not going to get way more than 30,000?
I want to ask you a question. You are in Canada. When they increase the minimum wage in Canada, do they increase your income?
God. You're just pandering to anything.
No,
Did you hear what I said?
You see, I want to make you understand what minimum wage is. We are staying on minimum wage. We're not here to discuss people earning at 3 million. But again, you made an assertion, and I asked you, relatable to where you are, when they increase minimum wage, because I know when they increase minimum wage, it doesn't affect me.
Odera, wait. You were the one that I'm picking you up. You said something. You said that you picked 30,000, and you were going to multiply the 30,000 by the number of labor force. That's what you did. That's what you were trying to do.
Yes, because I'm trying to understand, because I don't have any other data to do the comparison, right? I heard it somewhere, and then what I'm trying to do is to compare these two data to see how they arrived to that, which is your question, right? The problem with Nigeria is that there is nowhere to go for data. So I'm Googling as we are speaking. So I will answer your question. Go ahead.
When you are wrong, there's nothing wrong in admitting that you are wrong.
See,
Using that, wait, hold on.
Kid, hold on. Listen to me. Me and you, we've been debating so many times, and I've agreed with you on some occasions, and I've disagreed with you on some occasions. And I always tell you I align with your thought process. Any minute and any second I find to be wrong, I will admit and I will take correction. But what you are doing, he said you are not going to give me the information. That's what you said. You said you're not going to give me the information, and you said you're going to be gentle on me, and I'm still trying to look for, the day that Bongoli came on my life and was claiming that the highest voters in Nigeria were housewives. I went through the painful stress of finding, just to make sure I disprove the facts. Now, I said I heard something, but I will look for the reference and send it to you. Now, while we are talking, because again, kid, you need to understand that in Nigeria, there is high unemployment rate. So I'm trying to find a figure. And then if that figure is less than 11,000, then that person says what is correct. Go ahead.
See, me, again, I don't say what I don't know. I just, see, anything I have said, I need you to first of all admit, you said something, you went to bring the budget of National Assembly. I said that is not wage bill. Have you accepted that that is not a wage bill? That is
Listen to me.
More than that.
It's an infographics. And infographics, in fact, I even showed another one. Let me even show you, because I've done this live before you come in. I've gone for a few minutes. I've gone on for a few minutes. So what you are alluding to is also said here. If you look at number 3, it's called constituency allowance for 4-point-something million. Look at the total figure at the bottom. It's 29 million.
Why were you not showing me a budget to come? Why were you putting budget beside wage? If you add this
listen to me. It's a budget. It's like budgeting something to education or budgeting something to security, which has been budgeted to the workforce.
Listen to me. I'm going to brag a little bit now, because for the purpose of this. I made a first class in economics, and I read economics in both bachelors. Hold on. Don't appreciate it. I'm telling you that I'm an authority in economics. That's why I told you. I have first class in economics. I have masters in economics. I understand what budgeting is about. So I know these figures more than you. I am sorry to say.
Now let me say something to respond to what you just said. There is this guy called Kasim Afebua who pissed me off, which is why I actually started this topic and this live. He went from PDP, he's from Edo, he went from PDP to APC and went on Shewa Kimbaloye. You know what he said? He said, put 10 best economists in different rooms in this studio. Ask them to solve Nigeria's problem or give you a template that will work or a model. All of them will give you different answers. That is what, in his defense of Tinubu. So even you as an economist, sorry to say, you might not even solve Nigerian's problem. And I still appreciate you. It's like when Bongoli came and said he was got first class in this thing, in engineering. And then on the same light, insulted Siemens and said that he's better than Siemens engineers. See, Nigerian will brag about being intelligent, but at the end of the day, we're not solving anything. So that's why I said all of us are illiterate, myself included. Go ahead.
I am not an illiterate. It might be an illiterate. Me, I'm not an illiterate. And don't use the same brush to brush with myself and yourself, because you know why? Because me, I will stay on what I know, and I think you should listen, Odera. And there's nothing bad in you admitting. I'm gonna quote you again, Odera. You told me something. You said that the total budget, that should be the total wage of salary that senators are getting, is way more than the total wage bill of the labor force of Nigeria. That is why I'm taking it up on. And I'm saying to you that is very wrong, Odera.
Yeah, you've already said that, kid. My response to you is that I will send you the reference that I'm referring to, because what I do these days is, like I said, I don't say things from my head. I'm not an expert. Yeah. What I do is that I send you articles, I send you posts, I send you these things so you will see. So before I come live, you already have the information. So when I'm speaking, you will not think that I'm just manufacturing anything. In fact, I've even gone a further length to say, before I say anything, I will show you the picture. So what I've just shown you now, I've clearly said what is allocation for their constituency and show you what is allowances up to wardrobe allowances and all this nonsense, right? So at the end of the day,
So
did they use did they use hold on? Did they use 10
I think
billion for the car park of National
I
Assembly?
think
Yes, they did.
so.
Did they use 70 billion for Hajj? Yes, they did. Now, the first question you ask yourself: what is the unemployment rate in Nigeria? Minus that from 200 million, or actually, I don't know.
Odera,
Nigeria, there's no statistics to work on.
Odera,
So that person that made that claim, whether loosely or advisably or with caution, I will still use that until I find a very tangible. If you are giving me a hardcore value facts now or data backed facts to say actually what you said is wrong, that this data is the number of workers we have in Nigeria, then I can know what you are talking. But you're not giving me anything. All you are saying is that it doesn't make sense. But then, okay, let's even do mathematics. You're an economist. From 1999 to 2004, how many years is that? 27,000 from what I showed you. From 3,000 to 30,000 minimum wage. And we are sticking on minimum wage, please. Not the middle class, minimum wage. Now, 27,000. Now, come back to the Senate. The Senate have moved from 2 point something billion to 344.9 billion. That is 42.7
that is
billion
not
naira extra.
that is not wage bill. That is not wage bill. That's what I'm telling you. That is not wage bill.
I
That is not wage bill.
said budget.
That's what
I said budget.
you cannot be complaining budget and wage. You have to use the things that
We
apples to
broke
apples.
down how much they earn. One person, look at what the Labour Congress leader said, Ajero said, that the minimum is from 15 million to 30 million. Do you understand? Somebody is collecting 30 million and wants you, according to Akpabio, the Senate leader, to pay an average earner, an average civil servant, 35,000 naira. Do you know the difference of 35,000 naira to 30 million?
Anyway, one person in your comment section is calling me Olodo. The person thinks I will
I'm
respond.
not even wearing my glass. Ignore. But if I see somebody came here and said nonsense, I just removed him because show me the person. I'll just remove. I'm losing patience now, honestly, because for me there is mediocre mentality. If anybody insults anybody on my life, I will take you off.
I'll leave the person. Don't take the person. I'll leave the person. I can't. Don't worry. Odora, one thing I need to leave now, but one thing I want to beg you is this. I beg you in God's name, Odora. It is not anything that you see that supports your sentiment that you should. Just you, and it's fine to have some sentiment. It's fine to have a position. What I don't like is when those things don't, when they are somehow. So yeah, when it's somehow it doesn't make sense to me. I rather discuss things around. I want to ask you a question.
Kid, I appreciate your correction in terms of being.
Hold on,
Yeah, go ahead.
hold on. And do you know that even me, I see things. Some of these things can fuel our sentiment or biases that we have. But what I'm trying to even say to you is that at least do a bit of search and even ask yourself that, oh, I like this thing. It will make this person that I don't like look bad. But at least let it be something that at least it will be close to reality. Somebody cannot be making comment like, oh, 109, is it 109, 103 senators that we have, that their total wage bill is more than what we pay the entire Nigeria. Is a check am now. Is a check am. It no go make sense.
I really wish I really wish
No go make sense.
I have something.
Wait. Odora, you don't even need to go and check that one because that one can never make sense. Do you know what wage bill is for the whole Nigeria? That the
How many are they? 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira. You are still in thousands. These guys are counting in millions per month.
Wait now.
Okay, no, keep do it like this. Do it like this. Make it make sense like this. 30. How many 30,000 naira in 30 million?
Oh God of heaven! Oh,
You know you are thinking the numbers. I understand you are thinking the numbers. You are thinking how many of them. Multiplicity, that's what you're
I'm not
thinking.
even, no, I'm not thinking of anything because the reason I'm calling Odera. I don't need to think about anything because the 30,000, I've told you this before, you're not listening. 30,000 is minimum wage, bro. Is
I
minimum
understand.
wage, and it is basic. You cannot multiply it by the number of workers because there are workers, the percentage of workers that are minimum wage category might just be maybe 10% of the entire wage bill. Maybe those are in the middle, maybe 20%. Maybe some people that are in the middle, maybe they are 20%. Different strata. We have not even taken into consideration the allowance that you have.
I want to bust your head small. Let me bust your head. Look at this post.
So what are you boasting about my head?
Just read the budget pattern for Ababio.
What
You're
are you
making
boasting about my
excuses.
head? What are
You
you
are making
boasting?
excuses for him. So you see how much budget pattern for Ababio is? You see 500
Oh Jesus.
million each for senators. Do you remember that even Alin Dume came and said all animals are not equal?
Kai.
So when somebody is even saying
Kai.
30 million, that's basic for them. There is more than that.
Odera.
Because
There's a
they
difference.
use 120 million to put one street light. You know that's lies, right?
Odera. I'm going to live your life now. But before I leave, I will tell you one thing I want you to take away. 2, 3, and 4 facts can exist together. If I
No, I
say,
agree. I
wait,
heard when you said it to
listen,
Peter, I agree.
listen. I can say Odera is a good man. Me saying Odera is a good man should not mean that explicit is a bad man, right? I have not come here to tell you that the government are doing what they should do. That is a problem that you people have. Once somebody is trying to set records straight, you think they are supporting the government. I have not come here to tell you that the senators are doing what they should do. That is not what this conversation is about. I have not told you as Bongoli, I have told Bongoli that Tinubu is not doing enough. Even on your own life, I've said it before. There is just that anytime that they are not saying something against the government, you people you have a problem with that. I have said it here many times that Tinubu cannot be telling people, the workers, to bear with them and go through the pain. Why they are not going through the pain? Me, I have said it here before. You are there when I said it that day, Odera, unless you want to lie.
I heard you when you
I
said it.
said it. I
I know where
said
you
it
stand.
that
I
day.
know where you
No,
stand politically.
wait. And I said it that day that Tinubu cannot be telling Nigerians to bear the pain. We are trying to do reforms. Meanwhile, he himself is not going through, he's still driving around as if things are normal. He has not called out on his own allowances. He increased the number of ministers to 40 something. I use my mouth to talk am. What do you put on for my mouth? I use my mouth to talk am. Baba, see, let me tell you something. When you are saying some things, in a bid to make some things somebody look bad that you don't like, I don't have to lie about it. I don't like this government. I feel that they are not doing what they ought to do. I believe that people are suffering. But many of the people that follow you, including they are so intellectually lazy that if you don't if once you say the government is not doing well, everything everything you see that one. Sorry, Key. I think say you be Tinubu supporter. You see? Can you imagine? That's why he has been he has been attacking me. You see what I'm talking about now. Look at the comment. You see, I think say you be Tinubu supporter. That is why he has been saying what he has been saying. So two facts cannot exist. I call it mental laziness. This government is they have been terrible. These women have been terrible. But the fact that they are terrible does not mean when I hear what does not make sense, I should say it makes sense. How can you say that the total wage bill of a senator? How can you in this economy say that they should move what's it called, minimum wage from 30,000 to 400 and something thousand? Make it make sense to me. And you know something? What people
Uh,
don't know. Wait. More I leave Tinubu.
Kid, this
Let
is
me land.
where me and you will
Let me land.
disagree.
Let me land. Let me land. Let me land. Let me land. Are you aware that the government has agreed to move to 60,000? But the private sector,
For
wait, let
crying
me
out
land, let me
loud,
land,
what
let me,
Labour was asking
let
them
me,
to do is give us
let
a
me,
breakdown.
let me land.
Break it down for us.
Let
How is
me,
it a living wage?
you say your own. Let me land. So the government has
Odera,
moved it.
this thing.
Wait, Bongoli. Government has moved it from 30,000 to 60K. Do you know what the private sector is saying? The private sector are saying they can't afford the 60K. Listen to what I'm saying. Private sector, who are the largest
Everybody
employer of labor.
wants cheap labor.
Let
That's
me land now.
capitalism.
Oh, Baba, maybe I will live your life. Oh. So, private sector are
Omodi,
saying that, wait, private sector are saying that they are going to pay, they can only pay 54,000. The government say they are willing to pay 60. Private sector is saying they can only pay 55. My question to you is that if the private sector are saying they cannot pay they can only pay 54, and labor is asking for 400 and something thousand, I want to ask question: how are they going to move it to that point? Forget about government,
um,
though. I'm talking about
um,
private sector.
um,
Private sector.
Omoti, let me just add my own 5 cents here. Good afternoon, everyone. Odera,
Good
you have lied
afternoon.
again. You have lied against me today again. I have never
What
ever
line
for one
did I say?
have never ever for once called Siemens engineers
Oh, you've
or women.
forgotten what you said under the physics life.
No, never ever I've never even used the word Siemens engineers. That means you hear something. You
When
know, I
we were
always tell
talking
you.
about Peter Obi
No,
going to Egypt to speak to the Siemens,
no, no,
and
no,
you said you are better
no,
than
no, no,
them.
no, no, no.
You
No,
forgot it.
I never said that.
But
I never said that.
that the piece does not delete his
You,
life. Oh. You can go and check
you
it.
can go and check it. The highest I would have said is that I
Okay, if
produce
you remember what
electricity.
you said, what did you say? And then I'll take my word back.
No, 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 no. I don't even know what you're even talking about. But I know
And
that
then I'm
I could have
reminding you in the
condemned
context you said
it.
it.
No, I would never sit relaxing now. I would never say I know better than a power distribution engineer. You say I call the name of the type of engineer. We have two types of electrical engineers in this chemical industry field. We have power distribution engineers and we have the instrumentation and electrical engineers. I am not a trained power distribution engineer. How dare I say that?
Thank God you are
So
saying that because when I was telling you that Siemens,
you don't know. It is not your field. You don't know anything about this. So stop lying
now what
against
you
me.
didn't
I'm
know
telling
when
you.
you said that, and I
No,
also said something else that you told me,
listen,
which probably you've
Odera,
forgotten.
Odera,
See, what you didn't know is that I was working for Siemens then. Do
Odera,
you
Odera, Odera,
understand? So
Odera,
when you said it, it hit me different. But then go
Odera,
ahead. You said you had 10
Odera,
years experience in
Odera,
the field.
Odera. I said I have 10 years in engineering, in manufacturing engineering. I will never say 10 years in, I don't know. That's why I always tell you, you always bear false witness against me. That's why the other day I was on your
I don't
live.
bear
I said,
me, I will be the last person to bear false witness against anybody. If
relax,
I say you said something, you said
relax,
it.
relax, relax. No, you've done it multiple times and I'm
I
calling you
have
out
asked
today
you
again.
from your memory, what do you think you said?
Okay,
Because sometimes you might say things without
remember,
even know you are saying it.
remember, no, that's
So,
not true. Remember
okay,
the other
what
day
did
we
you
were
say?
talking.
What did you say about
Relax,
Siemens helping us to get
relax,
electricity in Nigeria? What did you say?
relax. Already, you see now, you see how you jump the gun. Siemens is already doing projects in Nigeria already under the Buhari presidential
Exactly,
electrical
we know
project.
that now,
And
and
so
then they
when
left now, but then they managed to do the
they did
same
not
thing in
leave,
Egypt,
they
which
did
is what
not leave.
Chimamanda went to ask
Oh
Angela
my,
Merkel of Germany.
this guy is always, you see now, this was what Omoti was saying, that you always give people false information. And many of the guys on this your platform that support you, they are intellectually lazy,
Which one is
respectfully.
false
Listen,
information? Okay, you
wait,
that is the leader of misinformation, misinforming people. Or you say what you said, you
who
say
is
you don't remember.
who is the leader of misinforming people? I
You,
always bring fact and evidence.
which fact and
How? How?
evidence?
How? You let me
Which
tell you
fact and
something.
evidence are you giving?
Odera, relax. Odera, between myself and yourself, you know you are not half as what's it called, equipped when it comes to information about Nigeria.
Blow your own, blow
No,
your
it's
own.
not blow my
How
no.
many times have I argued with you and I dealt with it very well and
Dealt
won
with
you in it? Clean.
what? Dealt with what? And that is the problem. That is the problem. You always think there is a competition. Odera, I
No,
am
it's
telling you
not
to your face.
competition on
No,
issues. On issues,
no.
I will win
On
you on
issues of what?
issues.
No, you don't win me on which win. You listen? Win on what? Odera, you just said that I called Siemens engineers
Listen,
incompetent.
I
And
have you see, we used to have meetings then. So I have proof. I have people that we discuss these things. And I said that when you said that, I didn't respond to you. I'm going to say something else that you said to me, which probably you forgot it. Hold on, Bongoli, hold on. I want to say something. When you are speaking, you probably will not know that people are listening to you. Do you know that you told me that you will give me $1,000? Do you know you challenged me $1,000 one time? First time you are talking to me. Do you remember?
If what? I can't remember. If what?
You can't remember.
If what?
Okay. If you can't remember, then I know I can understand the Siemens one as well. Forget. If I call somebody that you and I know now, if I call Priye now, Priye will confirm these two things. Because you were speaking, but you don't know that we were listening to you.
Hold on. I could have told you that I will lay $1,000 down for something that I know I'm confident of. And secondly, I will not sit here and say I am better than a power distribution engineer. Siemens is already working in Nigeria. So those when I say we went to Egypt plant or whatever it is, that's out of the way because Siemens is in Nigeria. They've been in Nigeria under the presidential electrical project or something like that. So that doesn't even make any sense.
Exactly. They signed the contract, but it was not finished.
Wait, see now, it's still not finished. They just brought about 10 mobile substations and they are installing it. They are in the pilot phase right now. Do you know about that? They are already in the pilot phase right now. You don't know about that. Let me tell you something, Otera. Between you and I and people that watch us, this is not about an intellectual competition. We all come here, give our facts and figures and back it down. You are the same person that said that if a plane is coming from the UK, they will first pass Enugu and come to Lagos. Have you looked at the Nigerian map?
Hold on, Bongoli. Let me refresh your mind again. My friend that was live with us, who was working at the time, said he spoke to a BA attendant, right? And they said, why don't you land in Enugu? He said that he doesn't know that the government does not allow them to, and that they pass Enugu before getting to either Lagos or Abuja, one of those that they land to. Don't say I said, please.
My brother, you were arguing with me that day and I corrected you numerous times. I've corrected you numerous times on seaport and river port. I've corrected you on so many things.
Bongoli, I used to say seaport, and you said it is called river port, that we don't have sea, that we are landlocked. That was your correction. You are changing the word sea to river, but we still need a port. And I told you that Yaradua was trying to dredge, which your president now is saying is going to do it too. Tinubu is saying he's going to dredge river.
Our president.
Our president, our president said he was going to do it. So your correction was just changing the word sea to river. And I commend you for that. You told me that. I'm not denying it.
The problem that a lot of people have with you is that you always think that you can talk, and you don't listen to anybody.
I'm listening. When I keep quiet, I'm listening.
When you listen to respond, you don't listen to understand. When you are engaging with people, you need to take, okay, what do I take out of this conversation? You need to take it like, what do I take out of this conversation? It's not about competition. You send me messages online trying to compete. Igbos are doing this.
Hold on. Bongoli, let's discuss this because you said I've never won you on any issue. Let's discuss what I just paid. Hold on.
You see, everyone. Did I say that I always defeat Odera on any issue? It's not there.
No. Bongoli, please don't be petty. Don't be petty. Hold on. What I said, hold on. Bongoli, I said don't be petty. This is not a war of words. We're not women. What I'm saying to you is somebody has said something now on this topic that you brought up now, which is the Enugu conversation, right? Remember what you said. You said, and I'm quoting you, again, if I'm wrong, correct me. You said that the reason why Enugu have one airline is because they don't have a lot of numbers, right? They don't have number of people who wants to fly.
Again, I did not say that's why they have one airline. You were even saying that one airline used to land it. Me, I said, and I quote, that airplane business is capitalist. And as such, they deal with traffic.
Thank you. And what does traffic mean? They don't have enough people flying, Abi?
From the eastern region. Yes, that is the meaning of traffic.
Thank you. And then I told you that how many airports do we have, international airports do we have in Nigeria? and we
I was,
counted it. It was about how many?
I
6,
was, I
right?
was, I was the one that even gave you all the numbers. I was the one that gave you all the airport and their numbers. I
Yes,
was the
let's
one.
agree you gave us all the numbers. And then I asked you, out of the 6,
Mhm.
why is it only Enugu that have only Ethiopia coming in? What was your response?
My brother, I've always told you it is capitalist. It is traffic. You don't have enough people
Even
traveling from
X,
there.
your friends have answered you. See, Bongoli, I like the way
Bongo
what my
is
brother
for
Kid
this one.
came
No,
here
no,
and bragged about having economist masters. And in the same light, I told him what somebody that went to Sheun's podcast said about economists. Yeah, that they
my,
all have variation of solutions.
my brother.
Even you now, you are saying that Siemens engineers, you're not better than them because the way you said it the first time, or the way you challenged me with $1,000 and you don't even know my worth. I was like, And you know, sometimes you don't
My,
attack who you
my
don't know.
brother.
So, Bongoli, all I'm trying to say is that you see the way you've forgotten things you've said, but it was very fresh in my head. Baba, Kid heard me say something, came up to correct me,
Oh,
and I told him clearly, hold on, no, I told him clearly
God.
that I'm forwarding things to him before I say it, so they will not think it's my words. And I said I've forgotten where I saw what I sent to him, but I will find it and I will forward it to him.
Okay.
You came on my life,
Odera.
Bongoli,
Odera.
and you told me
Odera.
that the people that won the
Odera.
last election were housewives. Do you remember?
Odera. 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 Odera, you get problem. Oh. Odera, you get problem, my brother. Oh. You see, Odera, you always challenge me for them about Igbo supremacy. So you do the same to Bongoli. Wow. Me, I don't respond to him. Oh. I don't
Which one is
respond to him
Igbo
at all.
supremacy again?
Is that not
I
what
just
you
told
said
you
to
something
me?
about housewife that me and you argued with the Niger Lebanese. You remember?
Odera.
You said the housewife are the ones that won, that are the highest numbers.
Odera.
And I remember in that life, I told you that the
Odera.
youth in Nigeria have the
Odera.
highest number. And I went through
Odera.
the pain of looking to establish your own point,
Odera.
and I couldn't find.
Odera.
So,
Odera.
Bongoli, please, with
Odera.
all due
Odera.
respect,
Odera. Let me talk. Odera. Let me.
if you see somebody who is more intelligent than you, there is nothing wrong with owning up to it. Don't come and say
Odera.
that I'm not half you, I'm not up to you.
No, no.
We're not comparing
Odera.
anything. First
Odera.
time when I met you, I said actually this is a very intelligent guy for having a first class in engineering. And then I said,
Odera.
okay, but why is this guy not supporting P2B? Why is he supporting? He should know better now. That is even my anger. Before you even the
Odera.
issue of you and African God. So please, what I'm trying to let you understand is
Odera. We do
I expect
them.
more from you,
Odera.
Bongoli.
Odera.
I really
Odera.
appreciate your intelligence,
Odera.
but I expect more from you
Odera.
because
We do
being
them.
smart does not mean you are a good. Integrity is different. You
Odera.
don't learn it in the 4 walls of university. Go ahead.
Odera. Odera. Do you want me to speak? You've been speaking and speaking and speaking.
Go ahead. Go
Odera.
ahead.
The thing is that you don't even listen. In that conversation, I said everybody was even laughing at you. Master of Coins, myself, Niger Lebanese, and all the people on your platform on that day. You were not listening, and you are still not listening again. I said people that voted, not the total amount of eligible voters. And you kept on arguing and showing data of eligible voters, and we kept on correcting you. I am not speaking about eligible voters. I'm talking about the people that voted, and you argued with us for over 30 minutes, and they made you a laughing stock. Secondly, on this your live program, when I came in this your live program, you're the one that was saying that I will defeat you.
Bongoli, apologies for
Let
cutting
me
you in.
finish. Let me
Okay.
finish. Let me finish with talking. And now you are saying, if you see somebody that is more intelligent than you, nobody's intelligent than the other person. Everybody has their own types of intelligence. But there are some things that some people know than some
No,
certain
but you are the
people.
one that bragged that I'm not up to you.
No.
I didn't brag.
No. You were the one that started saying initially, and then I had to put you in your place. And you
No,
said,
you
and I
can't put
quote,
me in
let
my
me
place because
finish.
I've been winning you in arguments.
Winning what? What are you winning? What
Okay,
are you
I
winning?
told you about. See, listen.
Are you
I'm not
winning? What
bragging.
are you
I'm an IT
winning?
person. I deal with data. Yeah. So I told you that from a population data, you can get a sample data. But what you see in sample data is what will tell you of what the population data will be. So I said to you that if the youth make up the more population of Nigerians, because there is no proof to buttress your point that housewives have more votes in
Let me
Nigeria.
talk. You were
I
talking
said to you
just
that
now.
it will be the youth as well. And I couldn't find anywhere to buttress your point. I went through all the page of the official report from
Oh my
INEC
God.
and I couldn't buttress
Do
your
you want
point.
me to talk? Odera, do you want me to talk? You added me on your program, and you are saying you doing, you this, you that, and I have to put you in your place. When it comes to conversations, socioeconomic conversations, and political conversations, I come here and I say what I know, and I back it with evidence. And you know it, and you see it, and everyone knows it. You, on the other hand, you don't listen to nobody when anybody is speaking. You preach all this Igbo supremacy and co. And some people are even saying in the comment section that that's the same thing you do
The
to them.
same people that keep saying it every day, that's the same people that will call me
So,
Igbo supremacy. And you
so,
know Igbos are not supreme in Nigeria.
so, so wait.
And I've heard you said some nice things about Igbo, so don't go back and start joining the likes of X and Sean and all the rest.
No,
And
no, no,
Master.
no,
Leave
no.
them,
It's
I
because
know how I deal with them.
it's because I am very, very factual. It's because I am very,
No,
very
I
factual.
appreciate, it's not me
To
that said it
you,
now. I
to
appreciate the way
you,
you
wait.
speak
To
about Igbos.
you,
You've
to
been
you,
speaking well.
to
But
you.
I say don't start
Wait,
going to the line of X
wait,
and the rest. Those ones
wait,
are banter.
wait. Odera, you always see all these things as competition and this and that, and you are not even learning and trying to see how you can make things better with your analysis. Now, let's go back to the conversation. You posted something about one lady you call Miss Pels or something. That Miss Pels is an Obi supporter. These things that she wrote on there are even false. Half of the information she put there was false. Minimum wage is not 33,000, it is 30,000 naira. No senator is giving 500 million naira. It is constituency projects that they don't even touch the cash. It goes to their constituency. So as you're a bigger senator, you are assigned more money. I also saw you talked about 3 trillion naira padding. They had already finished that 3 trillion naira padding is because many government-owned enterprises in the past, when they do their budgeting, they don't always show the figures. But these times for transparency, they say we must see the figures. That is where the 3 trillion naira came in. That's where that 3 trillion naira that Ningi was talking about and all of that stuff came in. So when you sit here and post things about what you got from Twitter or something that's not even factual at all, I'm like shaking my head. We're talking about minimum wage. Do you know today 2 states in the Southeast don't even pay minimum wage, at least 2. Abia State doesn't pay minimum wage. That's OT. OT doesn't pay minimum wage. It's still paying 18,000 minimum wage. So Ludo of Anambra State don't pay minimum wage. And these 2 states are supposed to be the most industrial states in what's it called? In Southeast. And then you are sitting here and you're talking about 30,000 to 494,000. Do you know the meaning of inflation? Zimbabwe will be a child's play to what will happen to Nigeria. You see, this 60,000 naira that they increase this minimum wage to, that federal government is saying this, I'm telling you, about 30 to 40% of people will lose their jobs. As we are speaking today, 30 to 40% of people will lose their jobs. 30 to 40, the inflation on just this 30,000 naira to 60,000 naira, you need to look at the economic indices. You need to look at hyperinflation. You need to look at cost push inflation. You need to look at consumer price index and the point of inflection. You need to look at the purchasing power. I'm giving you economic terms here. You need to factor all of this in. That is why I was talking about my own ideology. You should not be letting unintelligent people be making laws. You need to have very intelligent people making laws. Those are the factors you need to factor in, because for every 5,000, because remember, these NLC people, they are a scam in the sense that they are using the word living wage. Living wage is different from minimum wage. Living wage is different from minimum wage. Go and look at the definition of living wage in the International Labour Organization, ILO. It is different from minimum wage. The definition is different. Minimum wage is the least amount you can pay for labor, as in the least paid worker. So are you telling me that those our mommies and daddies that sweep the floor for Loma in Lagos should earn 494,000 at least? Now remember, 494,000 is just entry. It's just entry. Not people that have worked 5, 10, 15 years. So people that have worked 5, 10, 15 years should be earning like 600,000 naira. Well, we as Nigerians will be migrating to Zimbabwe. See, my brother, that's 60,000. See, is a tripartite meeting that they are doing right now. It's a tripartite meeting they are doing right now. And in the tripartite meeting they are doing right now, the people that labor should be listening to the most, it is not the government, but that organized labor, organized private sector, organized private sector is
I'm happy you mentioned that the whole Nigeria is involved. Go ahead.
No, I mean the organized private sector is who labor should be listening to, not the federal government. Because
Good evening. Good evening,
I'm
everyone.
coming. Let me just land. Good evening, my brother. I can't see you, but let me just land.
Okay.
What is it called? Organized private sector is saying that the max they can pay was it 54,000 something? Now they took it to 60 to match federal government. They are going to cut people off. They are going to go to what is called lean management. It has 60,000. And remember, labor is only fighting for 1.2 million people. That's like no, it's not 1.2 million. Actually, it's about between 600 and 700,000. That is the workforce.
Is that the number of workforce? Because that's what me and this guy is looking for.
Yes.
Me and Kid. What's the number of workforce in Nigeria that is under labor congress?
No. For
Like
federal government, not labor congress. Federal government is actually between 700, 600 and 800,000. It's not the 1.2 million.
Total number of our district,
federal government workers.
Okay. But the workforce under labor congress is not just federal government workers.
Now, let me ask you this question. Why is it that Abia State has not been paying minimum wage?
No.
Abia State
I'm asking you a different question. I'm looking for statistics in Nigeria. I'm not getting it. So you just quoted the number, 1.1 million. I'm asking you, is it just the federal government workers?
Wait, that's why I'm explaining to you. That's why I brought up the states there. Because a lot of states cannot even pay 30,000 naira. About 12 states cannot pay 30,000 naira. So when we now talk about federal workforce, relax. I have given you the number. Between 600 to 800,000.
But Femi Adeboroga said 12 million.
No, it's not 1.2 million. It's not that 1.2 million. It is between 600 and 800,000.
Does that include the private organized labor as well? How many labor force?
Federal government workers. Federal government workers. Femi said workforce is 22 million. That is total of not federal government workers. Is about 600 to 800,000. Listen to me, Odera, I beg you. I've said it like 5 times now. My mouth is paining me. Now you say I said something else. 600 to 800,000 are the federal workers in Nigeria today. That is who labor is fighting for. Then you now have state workers. You have local government workers. Then you have organized labor. Organized private sector. Then the one that is even hurting me the most are the informal economy. The informal economy is about 60% of our total economy in Nigeria. Now you have people that are working in the informal sector. What happens to the informal sector? Who is fighting for the informal sector? Organized labor is just maybe banks and all these multinationals. Organized sector is saying we can only pay 60,000 and listen to that. Can you pay your gate man 494,000? Can you pay your sales girl? Now this is what is going to happen. If you pay that amount, they are going to cut people. And when they even cut people, you're going to have more unemployment. And aside that, the price of the goods and services will go up. Now you have put the amount of money in the hands of people. What is inflation? More money pursuing less goods. So if more money is pursuing less goods, they're going to have serious hyperinflation. So that is what we need to talk. So what is it, in my own opinion, because if you look at my story online, I spoke to the governors of Kaduna State, I spoke to the governor of Akwa Ibom State, and I spoke to the governor of Kwara State, and I told them in September of 2023 that this is going to happen. I'm not worried about the federal government increasing. Can you subnationals, can you people take the shock? Because I know you people. And I told them,
Bongoli, that's not how to make arguments. I want you to say what you want for the federal government to do. Should they do their own part? Leave the small businesses and the private sector. Leave them one side first. Don't use them as an excuse. They don't have the same financial muscle.
Wait, I said subnational. You don't know? Do you know the meaning of subnational?
You are still not listening. Just make the case
See, I
for the
want to
federal
make a
government.
point, and so I can
Do you
leave,
know the
because
meaning of
if we leave
subnational?
Bongoli, keep talking, he'll keep talking. Do you understand?
My brother,
Yeah.
my brother,
Yes.
my brother, let me finish. I'm going off. Please, respectfully. I'm not saying you. I'm sorry. I said
Okay, no
subnational.
problem.
Do you
No
know the meaning of
problem.
subnational? Odera, do you know the meaning of subnational? Who are the subnationals, Odera? I'm asking you.
Bongoli,
Odera, I am asking you a direct
I am
question. Who are the
begging you in
subnationals?
the name of God, speak to the federal government versus the National Labour Congress issue. Don't come
Odera,
here and try to throw your weight of intelligence again. Do you understand?
Odera,
Don't ask me
subnational.
about subnational. What has subnational definition or meaning have to do with what I'm asking you? I'm saying the federal government are in talks with the Labour Congress. They are proposing
Odera,
60,000. These
Odera,
people are hinging on
Odera,
494. Do you agree? Do you
Odera.
agree? When you said
Oh my
you've
God.
advised two governors, what were you telling them? Because this is problem I have to with you. You went on
Odera,
national TV. You are making excuses for the
Odera,
government.
Odera,
You
wait,
are a
Odera,
bright mind.
Odera,
You are supposed to be. You are supposed to be critiquing these
Odera,
people.
Odera. Listen, I will educate you today. Subnationals are state governors.
No, explain. Keep
Subnational,
explaining.
I
You
will
are talking to a
explain to you.
dumb. You are talking to a dumb person. You're
You know why?
explaining.
You know why I will
Oh yeah,
explain
now
to
answer
you?
the question.
You know
Answer the
why
question I asked you.
I will explain to you? Because subnationals are part of the negotiation. The
Listen.
governors,
See,
the
hold on.
governors are part of the negotiation. Oh,
God.
Odera, you don't
Bongoli.
understand this thing. It's too much for your
No,
brain.
Bongoli, hold on. Bongoli, hold
Oh
on.
my
I beg
God.
you. I beg you in the name of God. Don't gaslight me.
Odera,
I asked you a question. I
Odera,
asked you.
I'm not
I asked you a
gaslighting
simple
you.
question.
Odera,
I
I'm
asked
not
you a simple question.
gaslighting you. Odera, I'm not
I'm telling
gaslighting
you how you
you.
are gaslighting me. Please answer me, Bongoli. Respectfully, let me use your word. Between the federal government and the NLC, which includes the TUC and also other sectors, they are defining what should be the minimum wage of Nigeria, including the Teachers Association. I'm
Odera,
asking you respectfully,
Odera,
what is your proposal? Do
Odera,
you think the government cannot afford 494,000, or
Odera,
do you think they should stick to 60,000?
Odera. That is why I am explaining to you that the subnationals are involved in the conversation. So it is not just federal government versus labor. Listen to understand what I'm saying. In that tripartite meeting they are having, it is government, not federal government. Government and labor and organized private sector. Listen before you talk Odera respectfully. So that's why they say governors propose 54,000. Governors propose 48,000. Then federal government proposed this. Then governors now met federal government where they are. And then you now hear that organized private sector also proposed this. Then you now hear that, oh, the governors did not sit down when they were having meeting. Oh, the governors have sent representatives. Oh, the governors are sitting there. And I'm telling you that I ask subnationals questions that will you be able to pay? And you're asking me why am I asking? What kind of question are you asking me, Odera? What kind of question is that? Is it not state? You don't. The meaning of minimum wage is that's the least
Uh,
that everybody has to pay. And you're asking me, and I'm
uh,
telling you, I'm giving you facts.
Bongoli, I want to ask you a question. So when government adopted 30,000, when it was increased from 18 to 30,000, did the states not follow suit and some states increasing it further to 40, like those states, like Lagos? Did they do that or not?
Oh, yes, they did.
So can we leave the subnationals and the
No,
private sector,
the
like I
reason
said
why we
before,
cannot leave the
and
sub,
stick to the federal government?
Odera, it is because of the basic definition of minimum wage. It is the minimum. It is the most minimal amount that any worker
Hey,
can collect
Jesus
in Nigeria.
Christ of Nazareth.
So when you are having, listen.
Kind
So
of,
when you are having this conversation, you have to put
my brother,
everybody together.
what's your name?
Oladimeji.
Oladimeji. Please, do you understand my question?
I understand.
Can
I just want to
you
say,
help me explain it to
no,
Bongoli? Maybe you
he
understand me.
understands what you are saying. I think he's just someone that he loves to express himself. So I think he doesn't like when you interject him. Maybe that's why he's hell bent on saying his mind. So you can
No,
continue.
I'm done saying what I want to say. It just seems like I'm repeating
Okay.
myself like a
Okay,
broken
fair
record.
enough. Bongoli, respectfully, you don't want to answer the question. I understand. You're
That is
intelligently
not
gaslighting us, so you don't answer the question.
no, Odela. It
Please,
is not.
can you tell me your opinion on the federal government versus the LLC proposal of minimum wage, sir?
It is not only the federal government that is in the negotiating table on the side of the government. The subnationals are also involved. So when you are saying the federal government, it is putting this conversation in a bind because that is not the truth. The truth is that the federal government and the state governments are negotiating with the NLC and the organized private sector.
Okay.
That is what I'm
What is your
explaining to you.
proposal for both the private sector, the states, and the federal government versus the NLC?
In my humble opinion, I think 60,000 naira may be very fair.
Break it down break it down how a family of four can survive on that.
You see now, you have goofed again. We are talking about living wage, not minimum wage.
Is that not what they are asking for? Were they asking you for minimum wage? It's not living wage that they were asking you for.
Hold on. You see, that is another goof again because the act is called the National Minimum Wage of 2019. The act is not National Minimum Living Wage.
Can I come in? Can I box?
Please come in because we are just going around in circles.
It's not natural going around in circles. I'm explaining something.
Wait. Okay, let's assume that they agree on 60,000 as minimum wage. Do you think 60,000 in the current state of the country is enough for a family of four?
My brother.
Yes.
You see, you're making the same mistake again.
I'm not making any mistake. I asked you an hypothetical question. I said, let's assume you understand that the minimum wage. Okay, let's say I am a bottom feeder. So and I earn 60,000 naira monthly, and I have a family of four. So how do you think I'm going to survive?
My brother, again, it is called your own minimum wage. It is not called the minimum wage for you to take care of all four of your family members.
What are you saying now? How is it
minimum wage? Living wage is different from minimum wage. Minimum wage is an individual.
Wage. I didn't say anything about living wage. Now, that is why I use the word bottom feeders. I am a bottom feeder, the last on the food chain.
Then why you having children when you cannot even take care of yourself?
Why can't I have children? Can you hear what you are saying?
Yes.
Somebody that have job,
why can't I have children?
You are working class. You're not allowed to have children. You're not jobless. You are employed.
Hold on. Can you even use 100,000 naira, even 200,000 naira to raise a family and children in Nigeria today?
So that is what I am asking. Why can't you target other? Why are you saying? Why did you say?
No, listen, my brother.
Children?
He thinks he's smart. He thinks he's gonna smart us. He knows what a minimum wage is. He knows what a living wage is. When he shifted the goalpost, I told him it's living wage they're arguing. Now he mentioned the figure. I said break it down. He switches this again. So Bongoli, whatever you want to call it, whether you want to call it minimum wage, whether you want to call it living wage, break it down for us. How is it going to be spent for a family of four?
Wait. And Mr. The other individual, I cannot see you. Let me ask you a simple question here. What act are they going to change to law? The acts that they are going to change to law to make this money that is going to say is the person. What act? What's the name of the act that's going to be amended?
Bongoli.
No, wait.
Can you please? Is it very difficult for you to stay on topic without digressing?
No.
I'm not. See, we're not lawmakers. We're not discussing law. What I'm saying is, if government give a proposal and they sign an agreement, effectively becomes a law. It becomes the minimum wage, or it becomes what they are requesting, a living wage. What can survive a family in this inflation? Are you getting it? Now, when you are sticking to a minimum wage without caring whether it is surviving people, if it's livable, if people can survive then you are not paying attention to the needs of your workforce, which is why they are striking. So
Order.
government is being asked
Order.
to please break down. Hold on, I'm using the words of the leaders of this protest. Break down how it makes sense to them that this works, that you can spend
Order.
a minimum wage and not a living wage
Order.
for a family of 4.
Order. I need you to do me a favor. You know the way you were Google searching. Can you just Google search the meaning of minimum wage, please?
Okay.
Let's start with that.
In lieu
Google
of
search the
that,
meaning
I
of
want to say
minimum wage.
something and drop, because I wanted to come and say something here, but then I have not been permitted. But concerning I'm not going to use family of 4. Let's say just 2 persons. You want to survive on 60,000 naira. We were not fighting for minimum wage or living wage.
No, if it is not what I've explained, look at it. Because me, I come hard with facts. Look at it.
No,
minimum wage is the lowest. Hold on, Bongoli, you asked a question. You made a request. I'm giving you your request.
Odera, that is not. I said, can you type the meaning of minimum wage? I did not say let's do the comparison yet. We'll get there.
No,
can you tell
now
us?
It's giving you the meaning of minimum wage. The minimum wage is the lowest amount an employer can pay an employee for their work. A living wage is the amount an individual needs to earn to cover the basic cost of living. Now, do you understand that I now know the difference? Have I schooled you now?
Mr. Odera, I have a suggestion. I think you should give everybody 5 minutes to talk. Because Mr.
Bongoli, let's allow the guests to talk, please. This is the first time it's on my life.
Odera, wait. No. You will talk, my brother. Odera, you did not school me. I was one that was making the difference of minimum wage versus minimum living wage. So you said you schooled or whatever.
Bongoli, this guy here, this Aladeji, even told you, even the minimum wage, how does it make sense? And what was your response? That he shouldn't have a child.
Odera,
do you understand?
Odera, you just showed us the definition of minimum wage.
Yes.
And you showed us the definition of minimum living wage.
Yes.
So as an employer, should I care about your living minimum wage or your minimum wage?
That is why you are not the
okay.
employer.
Leave him. Let me come down to his level.
Oh God.
Since you want to be petty, let's come down to your level. So if federal government sticks the minimum wage on 60K, that means you cannot pay anybody less than 60K officially in Nigeria. But that also means if you decide not to pay anybody more, you can stick to pay everybody 60K. That means everybody that earns that 60K, no matter how many children they have, where they are coming from, or to go to work, or how much they have to pay to travel to and fro work, they have to survive on 60K, and it is legally binding in Nigeria. Do you understand it? Now, what Labour Congress is asking instead is a living wage, that it is not livable to survive on 30,000. I've explained this thing in my head. I'm having headache, my brother, please.
Odera, now listen to yourself. And I asked you a question, and I asked this my other question. I said, the act that needs to be amended for this to happen is called what? It is called the National Minimum Wage, not National Minimum Living Wage. And you read in the definition of minimum wage versus living wage. Living wage is the cost for somebody to take care of his own cost of living. Minimum wage is the least amount an employer will pay his employee. They are two different things. It is Act of Minimum Wage of 2019, not minimum living wage. Now, if you want minimum living wage, then you go and tell the House of Rep to go and reenact a new law so that
Bongoli, I think what is confusing you is terminologies.
No, it's not terminology.
No, it's semantics. Now listen to me. Let me explain something to you. Okay, fair enough. Okay, whether you want to agree or not, let's do it this way. Remove anything before the wage. Wage is what you are paid for working. What they are asking are better wages. Does that make sense? And now, when you say an act, remember, If federal government agrees and signs an agreement and Labour Congress signs, it becomes an act and effective immediately. Do you understand?
Oh, sorry, what did you say?
Once the federal government makes a proposal and it is accepted by Labour Congress and they sign, it becomes enforceable act. Does that make sense?
Are you asking me that? I'm not the one that is bringing up the acts to you. Yes, I'm not the one
Uh-huh.
that is bringing up the acts.
So thank you. So you understand that level. Now, I think the English that is for confusing you is both minimum and living. Let's throw the two of them away. What we are discussing is wage. Wage is wage. So
No,
pay them a better wage.
I cannot say wage is wage because ILO defines minimum, and you just read
See, I
it now.
told you
What you read are
don't
two different
allow
things.
this man, don't allow Bongoli to keep
Jesus
driving you
Christ.
around. He knows what
Bongoli,
he's
please,
doing.
let's allow this guy to talk, because me and you, we keep doing this thing and people are here to listen. Please, my brother, come in.
Okay, what I want to say is that Bongoli is not speaking like a Nigerian. You are speaking.
No, you don't say
Let
that.
me
Don't say
me
that. I
talk.
didn't
Let
say
me
anything.
talk.
Don't attack my person, respectfully. I did
Okay.
not attack your person.
Okay.
I don't know you from Adam. I'm not even seeing your face. I don't know what you look like. Don't attack my person.
Okay. Now
I stick to the book and the tenets.
okay,
I stick to the book and tenets.
I understand you. Can I go on now? Now you keep twisting the word minimum living wage, and I understand that is how the politicians act. Whenever someone slip up a bit, they will capitalize on it, and that is what the Labour Congress did. Once they wrote it, the living wage, then that is what Bongoli is doing, capitalizing on it. That is not in the heart. It's not in this. It's not in that. Does that make any sense? We are talking about people living unbearably in this country at the moment. Everything is costly. People can barely survive. Are you in Nigeria, Mr. Bongoli? I doubt you are. I doubt if you are in Nigeria, because if you are, you won't even be saying these things. I asked if the money can survive family of four. Let's even say two persons. Can two persons survive on 60,000 naira? A bag of water is almost 400 naira or 400 naira. Just a bag of water. Transportation is on the high side. Everything is on the high side. Feeding is on the high side. So, and the government are not doing anything to mitigate that effect. Now they are asking for increments. You are saying that you are saying this, that. You are not even speaking like a Nigerian. You are speaking as if you are not in this country, or you are not a Nigerian, or you are benefiting from, I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Okay.
We should not, to my opinion to you, Mr. Odia, we should not give platform to people that will try and side the government. In as much as I am not against the government, but we should not give platform to people that will side the government. We should criticize them so that they can be on
Obake
their
Solo, do you want to come up? Let me see if I can bring Obake Solo up.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very
Things are
much.
bad
If you
presently.
notice,
People can hardly feed. I'm still talking, please.
If you notice,
people can hardly feed. Everybody is in pain and agony.
My brother,
our purchasing power is going downward slowly. Do you understand what I mean? So it is very difficult.
My brother,
yes?
My brother.
Yes.
One thing that I'll not let you do, only I cannot see you, but one thing I'll not let you do is to attack my person.
I didn't attack
and see
you.
that. No, hold on. You said you should not bring people like this coming up that are
I didn't say people
government.
like this. I said you should not bring people that will come and side the government. That was what I said. Are you siding the government?
It's not the same thing. So
no,
my
are
brother,
you siding the government? I didn't mention your name. Let me talk.
My brother,
I'm not talking to you. Let me talk. I didn't mention your name.
My brother,
let me just say. Oh my God.
Let me ask you this question. What would be your ideal minimum wage in Nigeria?
Come again.
What would be your ideal minimum wage in Nigeria that everyone should be paid in Nigeria?
My ideal minimum wage?
Yes.
I'll factor so many things. If I was in position to determine the minimum wage, I'll factor so many things.
Okay. And how much are we looking at? How much?
I don't know. I don't have those I don't have those data.
Okay, you don't
That is what I'm
have the
saying.
data?
Yeah, I don't. I don't
This is
have that.
disappointing.
Okay.
You don't have the data and you're dragging with somebody that is telling you things. This is
So wait,
horrible.
you
Who
don't
is talking? Who is talking?
wait, it's not who's talking.
Please,
Wait.
guys. All this our aligning with different political parties and then using it to talk down on ourselves. I think we're just making mockery of ourselves because at the end of the day,
My
we're the
brother.
downtrodden. We're the downtrodden. So
Odera,
if we think because of
Odera,
we managed to have the opportunity to be abroad, remember, not
Odera,
everybody can travel abroad. Do you
Odera,
understand?
Odera,
Please, I beg you in the name of God, Bongoli, can somebody live on a minimum wage in
Odera,
America?
Odera, no, Odera. There was a beautiful chain of thought I wanted to develop. There's a beautiful chain I wanted to develop here. Please spare
There's
me 2
always a
minutes.
beautiful
My
train
brother,
of thought whenever you
my
are
brother,
talking. But
my brother,
whenever the
my
other
brother,
person is
my
talking,
brother, you don't do, my brother.
no, he never
You
do,
came,
never do.
okay, you
I'm
came
just, he
on
never
air.
do at
I
all.
can't see you,
Never
that's
do.
why. My brother, you came on air.
He never
Relax, my brother.
do. He
Let me
never
talk,
do.
please.
No, I'm not going
Let me
to
talk.
relax.
Sorry?
No, I want to talk also.
Oh,
Because I
you want
was
to talk?
talking before you
Okay, keep
interjected
talking.
me.
Keep
Yeah,
talking, keep talking.
yeah, I'll keep talking. But what I'll just say to you again, Mr. Odera, don't give platform to people. I'll advise you. I can't tell you what to do. I'll advise you don't give platform to people that will come and gaslight people and support the government. We need to criticize the government so that they can be on their toes. That's just it. That's what I have to say.
Okay, my brother, before you go, like I asked you before, has he left already? Is he still here? Is he still here?
Bongoli,
Mr.
speak.
Oladimeji.
Speak.
No, is Mr. Oladimeji still here?
Speak. We are hearing you.
Hold on, is he still here? I can't see him if he's here.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, is he
I can
still
see,
here?
I
I'm
can
asking you.
see
You are
he's
speaking
still
to
here.
80-something people. Go ahead.
No. I said, is he still here?
Bongo is still here. I can see him.
Okay, so what I want to say is that I wanted to ask him, how much does he think his ideal minimum wage is? Okay, so
He
you,
doesn't have
Mr. Bronzoma, let me ask you. Okay, how much do you think is the ideal minimum wage? Right now it's 30,000. How much is the ideal minimum wage? Do you think? Please, people in the comment section, how much do you think would be the ideal minimum wage?
Okay, give them the 494 that they're asking for. Which one is how much is ideal minimum wage?
Okay,
You
so
think
if it's
you think they just arrived to 494? You think they didn't look at the indices?
wait. If it's 494,000, so that means the lowest person will earn 494,000. So now let's look at boutiques, for example. In boutiques, they are paying the sales girls 40,000 naira, 50,000 naira, 60,000 naira. Now, when you say pay 494,000 naira to the lowest sales girl in a boutique, how much do you think you'll be buying that shoe that you were buying for 50,000 naira before?
Bongoli, can you stop this? I beg you in the name of God.
You
Bongoli,
need to
I've told you before,
understand.
I really like you as a person. You're a brilliant guy. But what you are doing is you are negating if you are really a patriotic Nigerian and you care about your fellow Nigerians,
I'm
you cannot
asking
be
basic
supporting a
economics.
corrupt government. You cannot be doing this. You honestly speaking.
Wait. This is basic
Hold on.
Okay,
economics that I'm
it's
asking you.
about the private sector. I beg you.
Wait,
Focus on the federal government.
Odera, this is X.
Yes, I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing. So you'll be thinking about it when you come in. The federal government did not think about all the judges in Nigeria when they increased the Supreme Court judge to about 6 million or 5 million every month. The federal government did not think about all the state lawmakers when they increased all the allocations they give to the federal lawmakers. They don't think about all the men in Nigeria when they increase, what they give to themselves. Listen, focus on the federal government's conversation with the NLC. Give them what they are asking for. Don't start making excuses with the private sector. You are gaslighting. X,
Let me
come
respond
in.
to him. So here's the thing, right?
Mr. X, I'm sorry. Mr. X,
No,
I'm
just
sorry.
be thinking about it. Allow others to talk. X, come in, please.
Others we talk. And Mr. X, we talk. Just give me 10 seconds of your time. I think we are having an issue here with the basic definition of what minimum wage is. Minimum wage is not only for federal. It goes for states, It goes for organized private sector and the informal sector. Today, Abia State, Alex Oti cannot pay 30,000 naira minimum wage.
Again, let me say this thing again. Let me say it again. Bongoli, I know the discussions of the state. I know the discussions of the private sector. Let's focus on the federal government. Somebody took out somebody took out fuel subsidy. Somebody floated the naira. Somebody made the economy to be too harsh for anybody to survive on the minimum wage. That same person is responsible for increasing the minimum wage to be a living wage. A minimum wage supposed to equate a living wage. In America, in everywhere where we live, no matter how small you are paid, a cleaner, a janitor, he or she can survive on that. If you are climbing up the ladder or you go to a better school and you're increasing in your income, then fair play to you, you join the middle class. But the lowest people on the pyramid, the masses, must be able to survive on what they earn as workers. You can't go to work and come back and sleep hungry. You can't be a teacher and teach schools and still drink garri or not even have food to drink.
Garri
Can
is
we
now,
be sensible?
you can't even
Can we be
drink garri no
sensible?
more.
Can
Garri
we
is now
be
so
sensible as a people? You cannot pay people 60,000 when the bag of rice is 75,000. We cannot be doing this to ourselves. This is pure wickedness. X, come in.
So here's the thing, right? Let's not be sentimental about the conversation. What Bongoli is saying is actually factually true, right? But I think the issue you are having is you are being more of a people person, and you're concerned about people surviving, but you're not looking at the mathematics of what Bongoli is telling you. Now, let's use the US as an example. You just used the US right now. You said minimum wage. Do you know that in the US, people are working 2-3 jobs to survive? In case you did not know, it's not just one job that they are getting that is helping them to survive their households. They are working 2-3 jobs, okay? So if they now sit down and say they need the government to pay them money to cater for all the families they have, right? Because that's what the money should be, a living wage for them to survive. Then that's a different conversation. But they get minimum wage. And what do? Based on the families they have, they go get multiple jobs. Okay? So when we're talking of minimum wage is the least amount, right, that will be paid to the worker. You and your family is your responsibility. I get to my point. The responsibility of the government to the people is to provide basic amenities. That's all. It's not for them to come and feed your family.
Have they provided the
Baba,
basic
wait,
amenities?
can I speak?
Have they?
Baba, can I speak?
Sorry.
Baba,
No,
can I
allow him
speak?
to land. Allow
No,
him to
you
land.
interjected me
I know
that time
X very
also.
well. Allow
You
him to land.
interjected
Don't
me
worry.
also that
Odera
time.
told me to speak.
Have
Can you
they?
take your concerns to
Have
Odera?
they? Oh, I'm
Odera told
sorry.
me
I'm
to
really
speak. Can I
sorry.
speak?
Have they provided the basic amenities?
Sir, can I speak?
Answer. Can you answer that question?
Order, my
Can
brothers, I
I
don't go.
Can
Bye-bye.
I speak?
I don't go.
All right,
Bongoli,
Bongo.
thank you.
Bye.
All right, Bongo.
Thank you.
So here's the thing, Odera. I don't want you to mix up everything together. I get your argument, right? You care about the people surviving. You care about them living well, getting all the things they want. Normally, as you said, 60K cannot feed a family of 4. We understand that. So you guys should have the conversation based on that rather than based on minimum wage.
Baba me.
Because if you
Alpha,
keep talking on minimum
Adu.
wage alone, minimum wage, according to the definition that you
I
read,
agree to
has nothing to do with your family. Do
Agree.
you understand? So that's where the
I want
issue is.
counter
If you keep
everything that
focusing it
bros they
around
talk
minimum
about
wage,
us with
guess
the
what? You will
US
keep
they work
losing the
2-3
conversation
jobs.
Sorry,
because no one is
sorry.
going to agree with you based on the
Smoke. You know
definition
they
of
hear.
it.
You know they hear X.
I know they hear him. They roll for year.
Can you hear me?
Maybe go out and come back in.
Okay.
Go back out and come back in. Sorry, X. Continue. He wasn't hearing you.
Trying to make you guys understand this. When you are talking about the minimum wage, right? Just like Bongoli was saying, and I was trying to explain, that is the minimum wage that the least person will get, right? And it's going to be across the board. Like, for example, in the US now, when they give minimum wage across the board, every employer is expected to pay that minimum wage. If you are paying anything less than that, is a problem because the government has already said this is the baseline. It doesn't mean that's what everybody's going to get across the board, meaning other people are going to get more based on experience, based on time in service, right? They are going to get more, but the least you will pay a worker is that minimum wage. So if you are discussing minimum
X. The
wage,
question I
you
want to
cannot keep
ask
talking
you.
about.
X. The question I want to ask you is: can you survive on a minimum wage? Is it livable wage?
That's what I'm telling you. So if you cannot survive on a minimum wage with one job, you have to get multiple jobs.
So
And that's what they do
is
in
there
the
job in
US.
Nigeria that you
Get
can
it?
get multiple jobs?
But listen now, that's
Do we?
people don't listen to understand. And
You
I'm
you
telling
don't
you, I said
even
if you are going
speak
to,
for us to
but
understand.
you don't listen, that's your problem. I've been repeating it here. I said with this conversation, you guys have to take it away from the conversation of minimum wage. Because your concern is not about minimum wage, it's about people surviving. Then you talk about living wage, because the more you keep eating minimum wage, guess what? Your conversation will not go anywhere. Because you cannot adjust the way minimum wage is. That's what I'm telling you. Try and listen to understand. I'm not fighting for government. When somebody is trying to correct you, you will think somebody's on the side of government.
Correct.
Don't you concern with the government. They're not feeding
Correct. When we
anybody.
were speaking
All
about
I'm saying is, if you guys are going to have the conversation about survivability of families, then the
Uh,
government has
uh,
to start doing something to make sure people are getting
please,
a living wage instead.
please, can you look at the pinned comment X? Because I know the America.
Okay, this person said you can survive on minimum wage. Plus what? You told me to read it yourself. Plus what? Plus other benefits. So at the end of the day, guess what? He has to
Do
have
we have
other
other
benefits.
benefits in
Do we have
Nigeria? Do
other
we have
benefits?
Because
welfare?
Nigeria now, what do you people think? You people make my head explode. Someone is asking about US and I'm answering, you are talking about Nigeria again.
You were the one that compared US to Nigeria.
Smoke, I heard you.
You know
You
what?
gave a
Stop it.
scenario.
You
Yes.
guys are crazy. I swear to God, you guys.
X, listen, I have to do 2 or 3 jobs to survive.
Just leaving me.
But no, listen, these guys understands very well. They will just make any excuse for Tinubu, and I've already said it. For anybody that is making an excuse for a government like this, I like what Obake Solo said. He supported the government, but this is too painful. Now, at least the difference between Obake Solo and the likes of Bongoli and X is that Obake Solo is on ground, but this too is in America. You know, and Zaka Obi, I've added you as well. I don't know, it's like people are now hanging, they're not able to come up.
Let me
So,
so you can
no, stay where you are, stay where you are. They will join. If I'm sending them invites, it's just about accepting the invite, they will come up. So, please, let's be honest. If you really want people to survive on a minimum wage, you have to calculate it to be a living wage. That's the simple English. So before they put out a minimum wage or a particular figure to be minimum wage in Senate crimes, what they do is that they calculate, even if it is 1 room that you're able to afford, transport for a month, food, they'll calculate all those indices, and that's how they come up with a minimum wage to make sure it is livable. X, I understood you very well, but what you don't understand is what we are trying to explain to you. Now, somebody like Senator Babio said that he is also a laborer. Now, if he's a laborer and he's earning 30 million, how does that justify somebody else earning 35,000 like he was proposing, or 60,000 in a country where a bag of rice is 60,000? So your minimum wage is not a living wage. That is the argument. And now what Bongoli is trying to justify is that the English did not say living wage in the act. Forgetting that once government or federal government makes a pronouncement or signs anything, it becomes an act. That overrides what was there in the past. So can we stop gaslighting people and thinking, and then you come and call my followers lazy intellectually and think you have a superior argument, and when you speak, you're not making any sense. And then you bring in the private sector factor. When has Nigeria actually enforced anything to also affect the private sector? The person that is hawking pure water on the street, have you ever seen government saying you are not supposed to be selling pure water, you're supposed to be earning 30,000 naira? Have you ever seen any petty trader, government enforcing to say, oh, you must be earning 30,000 naira? In Senate crimes where there is minimum wage, if you don't make up to that, they make sure they give you money, they give you welfare to augment whatever you are earning or losing. So when we come out and want to sound so intelligent, let's be practical in our intelligence. If you are talking about, can private sector pay somebody 494,000? Has government ever made sure that anybody that is in Nigeria is earning 30,000 naira minimum? Do you know there are people that go home every day with 5,000 naira or as little? Yes. There are sales girls that make 5,000 naira a month. If you don't know, no. There are gatemen that make 5,000 naira a month. Government has never cared where the private sector, what the private sector is earning. Look at what this one said. Nigerians, I've said it many times, you guys should stop bragging about being intelligent. I don't care whether you finish with first class. Look at what this human being said. Obviously, it's not an intellectual conversation. It is close to a beer parlor conversation. Just wanted to be seen as smart by force. Baba, bring your superior argument. You have all the workforce in Nigeria, including airports, including people working in electricity. Everybody is striking. And you think somehow you are wiser because you are living in a foreign land. You are smarter than everybody that is workforce in Nigeria that decides to strike. You guys are, honestly speaking, you guys shouldn't get me worked up. You see, I started this live to say that, look at the topic. For a second, look at the top of the topic. He said, mediocre mentality of Nigerians. We are dumb. We are illiterates. Look at what you said to make yourself feel good. So the whole Nigeria is striking because they don't get sense. You bring your superior argument, Gabzola. Jesus Christ. X and Bongoli gave you, but you insisted. And I've asked you, can somebody earning minimum wage in a McDonald's, can that person survive in America? And then somebody posted here and fact-checked X and said, I don't live in America. Somebody from the comments fact-checked X and said that what X is not a fact. Are we dumb? If I am in America now and I'm not earning up to minimum wage, government will have to help me come up to that threshold. Do you understand? In Nigeria, nobody cares how much you earn. Do you understand? You guys really want to be downplaying any dissenting voice because you want Tinubu, the Almighty Tinubu, to be seen as a very smart person. How do you you remove subsidy and push the price of fuel as high as 1,000 plus for a liter? You floated the naira exchange rate. Now, do you understand that this whole minimum wage of 494,000 that you think is a big money, the valuation of that is about 350, is less than 350 pounds. I believe I'm Olodo, but all of us are Olodo. Minimum wage is per hour in US, Canada, and UK. Exactly. Even if it is per hour, does that also work as wage? Your wage can be monthly, your wage can be 2 weekly, your wage can be per hour. At the end of the day, whichever one it is, you can also do the multiplication and divide. If it is weekly, you can multiply by 52 and divide by 12. If it is daily, you can multiply by 365 and divide by 12. If it is bi-weekly, you can see. Don't try and play intelligence on me. You guys don't have any. You cannot come close. The simple analogy is that National Labour Congress, which includes all the workforce in Nigeria, has come out to say that 30,000 cannot survive them. Layman's language, they cannot live on 30,000. And they're telling the government to increase it. The same way they meet the needs of the senators, the same way they met the needs of the president, refurbishing house, throwing money, 90 billion for Hajj, throwing money around 50 billion. Please, let us have sense in Nigeria. We are too daft when we keep doing all these things. You hear 494,000, you think it's crazy money. No, it's not. That 494,000, by the time you take out fuel, you take out rent, do you understand that even rent increased? Do you understand there's inflation everywhere in the world? Do you understand that even your income has reduced? Do you understand what inflation is? So when Sheun is shouting on TV, telling you that all the indices, everything is in red, you guys does not understand. You know, they look 494,000 like say, that the eye where we take come out Nigeria. When you left Nigeria, that is 400, it's too much money. It's not. It cannot buy you anything anymore. Listen, There is inflation. And we're settling for the less all the time. This our mediocre mentality is why these guys will keep punishing us, giving you 60K. What does 60K do? A small girl is requesting for 20 million to sleep with her. Nigerian youths are okay with 60,000. Una be out there. I swear to God, all of una not get sense. Una mumu go continue like that, they go. Obake Solo, a celebrity, came here to say that even though he supported Tinubu, that this is too harsh. People are suffering. The whole workforce are protesting, turning off all the power, cutting off water supply to the National Assembly, and we have dimbats here trying to make it make sense. Are we dumb or something? What is difficult to understand that when you enter bus, what they will charge you now, they've increased in price. Everybody have increased in price. 30,000 cannot survive you for even 2 days. Stockholm syndrome. Because he's my person. He's from Yoruba. Let me support him. This guy that is talking. Look at Reno calling Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, that is fighting for the whole Nigeria, calling him obedient. X, you're the one that is intelligent. I'm in the UK. I don't understand how things work. Let me tell you how things work in the UK. Our minimum wage go up every year. Every 1st January of the year, our minimum wage gets increased. They don't care who it affects, whether private sector, whoever, the government, our minimum wage increases. Now, what you also have to understand that these guys are trying to bamboozle you guys and gaslight you guys is that minimum wage does not affect anybody that is not paying minimum wage. If you're not earning minimum wage, it does not affect you. It only affects those that earn minimum wage. If you are not earning minimum wage, your salary will remain the same. Unless your company or your organization goes for strike and all of you gets a percentage increase in salary. Other than that, minimum wage only affects minimum earners. So you guys can continue calling yourself names. I've already told you, Nigerians settle for mediocrity. Otherwise, if you guys know how much these guys embezzle, how much that their kids spend on nightclubs and how much they spend on private jets, you will not let them to be bamboozling you. So labor force should continue to put their foot on the ground. Sowore have also said the same thing, that he told them back in the day that all this back and forth they are doing is nonsense, that they should put their foot on the ground and request for this once and for all. So if Sowore can see the point, if others can see the point, let's stop all this tribalistic politics that we are doing in Nigeria. I don't care about the private sector. Settle the government sector. When the government, starting from the federal, do their own, then the state will follow suit. The state, according to Kasim Afebua on my podcast with Sheung, he said that the federal allocation in Nigeria has increased by 1 trillion. So all those money that they're sending to the governors, according to Bongoli, telling me what is subnationals, as if I don't get sense. All those money that have been increased in fact allocations, yes, they also claim there's inflation, but where are they spending it? He's telling me about Abia State. The same Abia State governor that, of course, he's doing well, better than the rest, but that same money, that same Abia State, the Libros that works for TVC analyzed him and criticized him. So if Abia State wants to pay, if federal government said today pay 494,000, everybody will follow suit. Our government have the money. They are only keeping it for themselves. Minimum wage will impact. Listen, all it will do is that it will give them purchasing power. That's the only impact it will give them. If hawkers on the street, if artisans don't make as much as the minimum wage, at least let government workers be able to earn. You guys are not dumb. For Christ's sake, I'm tired of this. Somebody will be trying to help you guys to a pit. You will be insulting the person speaking big English. My friend said 440K, 490K isn't realistic, but 60K can't come anymore. But Nigeria can pay 90 billion for Hajj. Exactly. Would I go pay 90 billion for Hajj? Pay 10 billion for car park. How many billion they take? You see, And then Mogoli will come and say, Prayers is Labour Party. The thing with you guys is that you think there's still election. There's no election, no. Election has finished. What we have now is, on your mandate we shall stand. And we have it. Thank you for my brother who told me to drink water. So we are going to stay like this for the next 4 years. Unless Tinubu is finished with you guys. If he's not finished with you guys, he will deal with you guys more. But what I hate is when we are trying to have national discussion. Reno will be pinging Joe Ajero and the whole National Labour Congress to P2B. And the other guy that said the economists can't fix Nigeria, what's his name? Kasim for APC. The same man that jumps from PDP to APC. You'll be saying that P2B is Ibotic. Make una continue. Keep blaming Igbos that doesn't have any link in government. Keep blaming them. Don't fix your country. You guys will suffer more. Somebody is trying to help you. Somebody is doing protests to say, yo, you deserve better. Nigerians are saying no. Well, give them 60K. You are supporting Akpabio and the senators and justifying that they don't earn so much money. It is constituency. Which constituency they don't do? Akpabio constituency project that he was using 120 million for one street light. We are really, 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 really dumb. Yes, kid, here we go again. Igbos must be brought in. That is Reno. Go and check Reno's post. It's on Twitter not. Reno was calling Labour Party Joe Ajero leadership obedient. That he's doing it because of 2027. That they're doing it because of P2B. That's how dumb our polity is. Everything is tribalistic. Kasim came on Mycon podcast with Sheung and was calling the whole of Labour Party. Labour Party that has been existing in Edo State, headed by Edo people, that P2B joined last minute. He's now saying that they are Ibotic, that they're not national. All they are doing is bringing out all this tribal sentiment. So you guys will go off on a tangent, be talking nonsense, be fighting among yourselves with a tribe that have not been in power in the last how many years. And yet, from 1999 to 2024, they've increased the national budget from 2.2 billion to 344 billion. But they've only increased minimum wage from 2,000 to 30,000. Look at the wickedness. You are very tribalistic, Odera. You are number one tribalistic. Thank you. I am tribalistic. In fact, I've already said it many times. My best proposal for Nigeria, you see, let us divide Nigeria. Everybody to your tents. Go on and practice whatever you want to practice in your own place. Everybody go. Now, if we refuse to go and say we must be one country, I pray that this National Assembly will sign regional government so that you will blame everybody will do their nonsense for their own squatters. When I know one guy says, I don't know, see, the British did something very, very wrong by bringing all of us together. You can see something that is very clear like this. You're going to say, somebody going to turn into tribal issue. So one person when they give you 60, so somebody when they propose 60K for you is better than somebody who is proposing 490K because he's Igbo. May God have mercy on Nigerians. And I don't care where you went to school. I don't care the certificate you have. As far as Odumeja and I is concerned, all of us are illiterates. We are dumb. Buhari said we are lazy. What do you call it? What did Trump called Nigeria a shithole? David Cameron called Nigeria a fantastically corrupt government. You see all those names? We deserve it and even worse. Nigerians are corrupt, stupid. I'm getting worked up on Yaka because look at what people are typing. Just because you want Tinubu to be president, you cannot criticize him. You can't see what is wrong. The whole country is shut down, doing protests, and you want to say that Tinubu is doing fantastically well. If it was P2B that was in power and doing that, what would he do? Can we stop all this nonsense? Divide the whole country. Let everybody go and be doing this nonsense. I wish this was like news to me. You are doing it in your own parts. I've told you, Peter Obi did not have one single Igbo politician behind him. Not even one. Not one. No Igbo politician supported Peter Obi. If Igbos are really that tribalistic, or you tell me which politician. Should I call how many politicians was supporting Tinubu that were governors? Should I tell you? Were there any exception? Akredo, is he still there? Was it Opu Sodoma that supported Peter Obi? He was APC. Was it Ugwuanyi that was PDP supporting Atiku? Or did he support Peter Obi? Was it Professor Soludo that was very vocal with Tinubu? Who supported Peter Obi? That you guys are saying Peter Obi is Igbo president. The same East that supported Obasanjo, that supported Yaradua, that supported PDP for how many years, is now supporting Peter Obi because he's Igbo. He become an Igbo agenda. Can we stop this nonsense? Can we stop this nonsense? And it's the bigots that will turn around and call you bigots. Do you know what? They should give Una 30,000. I take it back. No. They need to give Una 30,000. And that will be because of fear. I will restart. I'm tired of this nonsense. You see this Nigerian rubbish. I'm tired of it. Nigeria, I will support the federal government to give you 20,000. Peter Obi that the Igbos gave 95%. How many percent did we give to Yaradua and Obasanjo? Do you know that Peter Obi? Do you know that the whole Southeast were PDP for the longest? Do you know it was only Apga that was in Anambra? It was only Anambra that was Apga. Do you know that there was no single Igbo politician that supported Peter Obi in this last election? Was it Devil Mai that gave Buhari a title when he was calling us a dot in a circle? Is it Devil Mai that was fighting Peter Obi, fighting obedience that supported Peter Obi? Or is it Okezi Bazo, Abia State, that supported Peter Obi when he's PDP? Are you guys normal? Can you guys stop all this rubbish you are saying? Igbos are the most the tribalized people you will ever meet. We don't do that nonsense. In Igbo land now, you have 2 governors that are PDP, 2 governors that are APC, and one that is one governor that is APC, one governor that is Labour Party, and one governor that is APGA. We don't do all this nonsense. We are more smart than that. Still making false claim. So which give me a name, kid. Let me. So guys, I just want to come, just do a few minutes and go to bed. You know, the thing with Nigeria is, I don't see any hope. I don't see any hope with Nigeria. Nah. The more you try to help them, the more they are bringing to help them, the more they tell you that they are very comfortable. It's like the children of Israelites. When you are trying to bring them to Canaan, they will tell you, oh, why didn't you leave us in Egypt? Oh, we are okay. Why are you stressing us? Why do you bring us here to come and die? While you are suffering, they are trying to help you.
Odera, good evening or good afternoon. Odera, there's something I want to tell you. There's no point that you're trying to get yourself worked up. Okay? You have been on this life. You have been running on this life for a long time that you have to know the people you're dealing with. And when you know the people that you're dealing with, you don't have to get yourself worked up. Do you think they don't know what's going on? Do you think that, hold on. Do you think they don't have families back home? Do you think they don't send money to their families back home? Do you think they don't know that the government does not prioritize the people? Do you know why they call you dumb? You don't know why they call you dumb when you try to make sense or when you try to counter what they say. They call you dumb, they call you stupid, they call you all kind of things. You don't know why they do all that. They're not doing all that because they don't know that what you're saying is true or that the facts on ground does not support what you say. They are doing it for one only reason. that the source that is coming from is not the person that is supposed to say it. That's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing it because they want to make sense or they want to. They don't like the source that is saying it. That's just it. That's why they will call you unintelligent, call you dumb, bring so many things that are not worth it in the conversation. You know, try to turn the conversation upside down. So you think you're not, you think you have problem. No, the problem is not you. The problem is the source that is saying what you're saying. If it is somebody else that is saying it, oh, he makes a lot of sense. So don't get yourself worked up. I have been on this life. I know every one of them. So the more you try to prove them wrong, the more you try to show them that we are all together, this is a fight, not an Igbo fight, this is a fight for Nigeria, they can never understand you. The problem is the source. That is why sometimes when I talk, they say, oh, this guy is tribalistic, he's evil. There's no name they have not given me because they don't like to hear from you. It shouldn't come from you, it should come from any other person. It should come from a man, you know, a homeless, a whatever, except you. So I don't want you to get worked up for whatever reason. If you do your life, if they disagree with you, accept it. Don't try to give yourself unnecessary pressure. It doesn't worth it.
Thank you, sir.
They know you. They know you. They know themselves. They know even that what you're saying is bigger than what is happening in Nigeria. They have families. So you trying to make sense to them, you cannot make sense because it's coming from you. Until you understand that, every other thing you're saying you're doing is good. Until you understand that, you will stop giving somebody opportunity to call you dumb, even when they don't make sense. You will stop giving somebody opportunity to say you are a bigot, you supported Obi. This is not about, but they know what they are doing. It's not about what you're discussing. So, look, I have brothers. If you call me brother, I call you brother. If you don't call me brother, get the hell out. I don't care. That's me. Until you grow to that level, you will still be cracking your head thinking you're going to make sense to them. You can never make sense to them. They will never accept what you say. But you will see somebody who uses kettle, who don't have anything to offer, will come out and say the same thing you're saying. They will say, hallelujah, oh, he said it. What he's saying, I see sense in it. They will start, oh, he's a bit smart. Look, the source is the problem. For the fact that people had the audacity to run, every Igbo man is the source of the problem. Until you get that, you can never make sense.
Is it possible to focus on the conversation, the issue?
Okay, now, if it is possible, hold on, brother. If it's possible to focus on the conversation, why will you be conversing with your said brother and they call you dumb, they call you names, give you all kind of names, if it's a conversation?
No, I'm just saying because I've seen you talking since now. I don't even know how you got
I just tell you, I can go down.
But can we relate this thing to the conversation?
Hold on, my brother. I know you don't like to hear what I'm saying. You may not like to hear what I'm saying.
You are saying. They will think it's the tribal issue you are discussing. I'm
not even a tribe. I'm not. You know me. Me and you have discussed something.
Let's discuss issues.
Hold on. Now you want to talk about the issue. We are not here. There is something that prompted me to say all these things I'm saying.
I wasn't
you
here
were not
anyway.
Here. Okay, that's one thing you don't understand. And I'm not going to go back and forth with you. You know, I have spoken to the person I'm talking to, and he understands what I'm saying. Most of the people who are here understands what I'm saying. Do you think, or they don't know that when you give 90 million 90 billion to people going for Hajj. That is not a priority. You cannot prioritize that over workers. You think they don't know? They know all that. You are the problem, Odera. It is not the topic. Stop trying to make sense. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Zach. Smoke, come in first, please.
Well, my own contribution are still, it's still the same contribution as we have been saying before. In the comment section now, while all of you were arguing, somebody said, buy your investor, I see you. Nvidia don't do 5%. What am I saying? We keep focusing on the cruise and we are missing the main point.
Exactly.
Everybody come to capitalism on a no 1 year. See on a result of socialism. What is the result of socialism? One tribe wants to show that it is better than the other tribe. One person wants to show that it's better than the other person. One person wants to show that it's smarter than the other person. Capitalism will bring all this ego down. We bring all this. So when you say, capitalism, one person make the whole money, all the person, no, it's just the mentality. Ego will come down. That's my own contribution.
Smoke, thank you for that. Me, the only thing, I started my life, nobody was here then, and I really praised people like Dangote. I praised him because Dangote had to create about 7 companies for him to make sure that refinery works. That's capitalism. And without people like that, without the likes of Innocent built a fire truck. Honestly, I am so proud of that guy. To build a fire truck, I'm even still talking about go to UK and ask them to give you second-hand use. And this guy built a brand new. So I appreciate him. I appreciate the likes of Airpeace. So yes, capitalism is the way. The only thing that sometimes I say is, let's add a bit of socialism to it, right? Everybody's not going to be smart.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah. A mixture. Capitalism, socialism. Capitalism come with the money, solve the big problem. Socialism solve because everybody doesn't have the same level of IQ. Everybody don't have the same level of opportunity. They say all fingers are not equal. So a combination is good.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you so much.
too much of everything is not good. You understand? So yes, I will understand that, like too much of capitalism is not good. But when I look at Nigeria, for instance, right, like they say we are practicing capitalism. Now, I don't think we are practicing capitalism. I think we are practicing maybe faviorism, that kind of stuff. Because we don't support small businesses. Do you understand? We only go for the best and push the best. And that's not how capitalism works. You get capitalism brings competition. Competition brings in fight for customers. Fight for customers brings what? Brings low cost. And low cost will bring what? Will bring down inflation. Inflation is high in Nigeria because everything we are doing, we are outsourcing it, and nobody wants to, or the government is not helping the people inward, to bring stuff down. And sorry, just to talk about those people that were saying people in America, they do 2 jobs, they do 3 jobs to survive. To be honest, I will say that is wrong because we Nigerians here, we are greedy.
Master has not sent me a request. If Master send a request, I'll bring him on.
We did not come to America here to snap picture. So you would not see a Nigerian that is earning $15 an hour and is settled. It's not possible. That's not how we are wired. However, an American can stay on $15 and be happy with it. Why? Because they have housing support. They have unemployment support. They have child support. They have different benefits that they qualify for because they don't aim high. They don't have high income. However, Nigerians are not wired like that. So that is why you will see a Nigerian do 2-3 jobs, because for a Nigerian, he wants to get out of this low place that he is at. So he will gather his own money quick, fast, and do whatever he wants to do. So please let us stop hey, people are earning 2-3 jobs. People are. Do you know how much 2-3 jobs brings a week? Like I are saying, so please, People will don't be looking at people that are doing 2-3 jobs. They know what they are doing, and that is why they are doing 2-3 jobs. Go and look at them 10 years, 15 years from now. You will see that Koda Agon said they might not even be doing any job at that point in time. That's
Yes,
my own contribution.
yes, you
Thank
made
you.
a lot of sense, and as well as that, about 277 manufacturing companies have left Nigeria in the last 1 year. So that is even working against capitalism. And all these things is because there is no enabling environment. So Nigeria is getting worse and worse and worse because instead of inviting or, having both foreign and local investors, we are demolishing, making local investors leave, making also foreign investors leave. And it's very shameful. And to your
Yeah.
point as well, what you said about America, people just do it because as a Nigerian, you have to buy a house in America, you have to build a house in
Thank
Nigeria,
you.
you have to buy a car in America, you have to buy a car. So you have double the problem
Thank
of
you.
a typical Oyibo. A typical Oyibo just have to worry about one mortgage, go to club
Thank
and enjoy himself.
Oyibo
So,
don't even worry about their
so,
fucking parents.
so it's not because they are
All
not able,
Nigerians, we are worrying about our own parents too. We are
it's not
working
because,
today for our parents.
yeah, it's not
So
because they cannot survive on minimum wage, it's because they have more calls coming from back home, which of course they have
thank
to
you.
answer. So, Smoke, appreciate that.
Yeah, brother.
Olu, longest time, man. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Come in, brother.
yeah, yeah, my brother. Now walk. Oh, sorry.
Okay, no,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Now, what I want to say, because I actually thought you are talking about this labor matter. That
Yeah,
was
that's what
what
we're
you were
talking
saying.
about.
Okay,
Sorry, go
that's what
ahead.
we
Yeah.
were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, you see, this is the way I see it. It was a tripartite agreement, negotiation from the beginning. What does tripartite negotiation mean? It means federal government on one hand, the state government on one hand, and the private sector on one hand. Do you understand? Coming
Mm-hmm.
together to agree on what should be a minimum wage. Because the wages we cut across, we affect everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some states are still paying 18,000 minimum wage as we speak. Some are still paying 18,000. So, it was a tripartite agreement. So, the question now is this. That's number one. Secondly, the federal government employee, they are less than 10% of the whole workforce in Nigeria. Are you following me? They are less
Less
than, I
than
think, 10,
10%. Yes, yes.
10
Go
or
ahead.
5% of the whole population in Nigeria workforce. So
Mm-hmm.
it now comes to a point, if you go to an agreement and you are saying you want 494,000 naira, the question is, can organized private sector, can they pay that minimum wage? If you have it, for example, my staff, I pay them 70. For example, anything that will make it to take it up higher than that, I will sack. I will sack people. Do you understand? And it's not an advisable scenario. When you go that road, you have to be very realistic. If labor is dealing with federal government now, say federal government, oh, this is it. I can assure you, federal government can pay 200,000 naira conveniently without stress. If it's about federal government, they can pay 200,000 naira conveniently. But when you talk about minimum wage, it cut across. It's a law. So you can't engage anybody, whether it's a domestic staff, whatever it is, and you pay him less than what is agreed in the minimum wage. That is the issue. That is the issue here. And it seems we are not getting it. Zamfara is still paying. Zamfara is still paying.
Olu, can I come in?
Wait. Zamfara is still paying, I think, 8,000 naira minimum wage as we speak. Do you get what I'm saying? So it becomes an issue. So that's one. Another thing, if you say pay for 94, it will turn to an inflation. A very serious, terrible inflation will occur. At the end of the day, the money becomes useless and agitation continue for more wages. However, if government can, if you give government time, maybe a time frame to bring inflation down, food prices, all those things and all that, which they said they are working on, that makes more sense. If you go into negotiation and you are discussing that, just like it makes more sense. And Ajaero himself, which is the NSC chairman, is making matter difficult for himself because you've aligned with Labour Party. A reasonable person will see you as an opposition you are just trying to destabilize his government. They will see you as an opposition because you are coming from Labour Party. Constitutionally, NSU is affiliated to Labour Party. You understand? It will affect your, because people will see it as a politics. You are playing politics to this thing.
Olu,
Do you
please,
understand?
please, I'm sorry I'm cutting you. It's past, it's almost 11 o'clock here, and I'm getting tired. I want to engage you. I'm going to engage you quickly. Before Master
Okay,
comes in.
fine. You can engage me.
Let me engage you now. Answer me, because this is the case that Bongoli wanted to make, and I tried my best to sort of make him focus on the federal government and not the tripartite. And I said, what is federal government versus NLC decision or proposal that he wants? And he was avoiding the question, saying, can states afford it? Now, I want to ask you a question, because you are bringing on board the same argument. Let me come from a different angle, because sometimes it's better to do reverse engineering so people will see the point. A federal government doctor and a private sector doctor, who earns more?
Private.
A bank, the least staff in a bank and a federal government employee, the least staff, who earns more?
Of course, from private.
That I don't know, but
I said the
if you
least
say
staff.
the staff of a bank, it could be a cleaner though.
Okay, let's switch it like this. Let's say the
Sorry,
entry position of working in a bank.
Your argument, let us focus on the minimum. Whatever you are
That's what I'm
saying, let
saying.
us focus on
That's
the
what I'm
minimum.
saying. That's what
Do
I'm
you get?
saying.
So
So
because when you are
entry,
mentioning doctor,
no,
that's not minimum.
no, because
Let
it
us
is
make sure.
it is the organized private sector. And then we are talking about organized private sector. We're not talking about people hawking on the street. We're not talking about businesses. We're talking about the organized private sector. So the banks, the oil company, the least entry level of an oil company, and the federal government least staff entry level, which is level 1. Who earns more?
And the private sector now, they always earn more.
No. Wait.
Smoke.
He's talking
Thank you
about
for
oil
saying it.
sector.
I don't want to
Oil,
make it ambiguous.
oil
That's why I said, let me
oil
engage you.
sector is 1% of the workforce. See, you
Uh,
see.
Olu,
Wait.
If you wait,
Make other
relax.
allow.
Wait, if you
Olu,
are going to use this example,
Give me 1
Odera,
second.
Odera,
Olu,
wait,
give me
I've
1
been letting
second.
you guys go back and
use
forth.
small
Odera,
scale
wait,
business.
wait.
Don't go
Master,
to
give me
No,
1 second.
Odera,
the
listen, now you've been going back
Master,
and
give me 1
forth.
second.
Odera, listen to
Please.
what he's saying. He's trying to say if you are going to make that comparison, use relatable jobs. Don't use jobs
That's
that
why
are not
I started
minimum
with.
wage.
That's why I
No, he
started,
small
started
because
with doctors.
government does not have a
Doctors are
bank.
not minimum wage
Hold on.
doctors.
like mine.
Please, hold on. Government does not have see, okay, let's do with teachers. Let's start with teachers. A government teacher, the minimum teacher in a government school and a private school, who earns more?
Private.
So when we are arguing,
It's even
you see, I don't like to brag.
debatable.
See, hold on. I don't like to brag.
Make other land.
I like to hold on. I like to make the list. I try to bring it down to the barest minimum, because people are following me. So when I said let's focus on federal government, the state is paying more than the federal. The private is paying, because if you're employing 100 people and you're employing 50 people and you're employing 5 people, you have more power to pay 5 people better than somebody employing 50, than somebody employing 100. Now, I don't want to start doing that conversation with Bongoli, and I don't want him to do gaslighting. That's why I was keeping him to the federal. But he's trying to bring it up on board, and you have come in, and I've explained it to you better. So now let's go
You are
back to
talking
the
of
federal
teacher.
government.
How much do they pay cleaner? Because you see, you are not getting it. Relax. Just relax. We are talking of level 1 here. Level 1 are the one we are looking at from minimum wages. They are cleaners. You are talking of teachers. Teachers are not level 1, no. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. If you want to make your comparison, go to the lowest. in private sector. Let's discuss it.
Olu, what is your lowest?
What's your point? Odera, what's your
No,
point?
my point is, like I said, if federal government stick to a minimum wage, state
Mhm.
usually do better than the federal government.
Yeah,
Because they are
yeah.
focusing on the state and not federal. And
Mhm.
multinationals or big companies or this organized private sector usually even pay better anyway. Are you
That's
getting
an
it? Yeah.
assumption, Odera.
Okay,
What
let's
you're
say it's
saying is an
an
assumption.
assumption. Let's say it's an assumption.
Okay.
But I asked it as a question and I got
Yeah.
feedback. So why I ask this as a question is so that you guys will follow me. So I will not just make a statement. So it will be at a consensus. So now that I've said that, can we go back? You see, the whole of Labour Congress, which is both all the workforce, teachers, and both everybody, cannot be daft. They cannot be stupid. What they are saying is that whatever you've pegged this minimum wage, we know that not all of them are earning that minimum wage, but whatever you are earning this minimum wage for the least staff, it is not livable because of the inflation. And if somebody cannot understand that logic and why they are striking, and you are telling me you have a master's, it makes me feel like, man, there is more to be desired. Master,
Okay,
come in.
so wait. So if they pay that money you are talking
Oh,
about now, are you saying that inflation will remain at the same percentage it is now?
Now, hold on. Olu, let me explain inflation that you are mentioning already. The teachers did not cause inflation. Already there is inflation. So when they don't have purchasing power, if, for example, they used to buy, let's say this is red oil, they used to buy it like 15 naira, and now they are buying it at 5,000 naira. That's already knocked out about, I don't know how many percent of 30,000. And they still have to buy meat. They still have to buy a goosey if they want to make soup and all of that.
You have not
So
answered my question.
now,
You have
I'm
not answered my
explaining,
question.
I'm explaining it to you.
I said, assuming that they paid that 494,000 today. Are you saying the inflation you are shouting that is high now will remain at the level it is?
Now listen to me. Inflation are forcing them to demand the 494. Now there is this guy, this TUC head, not LC, not NLC, the TUC guy. When he came up, he said that when Nigeria was paying 18,000, that the equivalent in dollars is $120. Right now, what is 30,000 in dollars? That's how they peg it. Do you understand?
mm,
That's why people use dollars as a yardstick for conversion into currencies. So now, what they are saying is, it's either you pay us the equivalent of the
So
120,
why
or
do you
you
have
pay.
to use
And they
dollar?
even said, hold
Why
on. And the
do you
guy
have to
even
use
said,
dollar?
hold on. The guy even said, go to other African countries that they have even increased their minimum wage. He was not even using America or UK. He
Ghana
was
minimum
using African countries.
Ghana minimum wage as we speak is 38,000 naira.
Oh, and then one Ghana CD, £1 is how much in Ghana cedis? How many Ghana cedis make £1 or $1?
No, I said Ghana
It's
minimum wage
can
is
I
38,000. Now
is
can I
one
come
pound
in
is
now,
38,000
about
Dara?
naira.
14.
Can I come
38,000
in
naira.
now, Dara?
They've convert
Master,
it
come in
now.
because I am tired. I need to go.
Okay,
Master, come in.
They've
good
convert
evening, everyone.
it. It's 38,000 naira.
No
That is
wahala.
that is the
Oh,
minimum
okay.
wage
You're
in
converting
Ghana.
Dara,
in naira. Okay,
relax.
go
Okay,
ahead.
good
Yes,
evening,
now it's
everyone.
Okay, go ahead.
38,000
Good
naira.
Master,
good
good evening.
evening. Good
Allow Master
evening,
to talk. You'll
everyone.
be the last because I'm really
Um,
tired. I beg.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
of the belief that this 459, I be
94.
495 or 94. I think the government can just be nice and round it up at 500,000. And I believe that they should do that. Why? Because everybody keeps making noise. Me, I believe let the government give them what they want. Why? So tomorrow when shit goes bad, everybody will just shut up.
Make
Everybody
it
will
go back.
shut their bloody mouth up.
You can't bring
Because
that shit back.
Because
You can't bring it
Oga,
back.
once that shit goes bad, Oga, there's no coming back, oh.
You
Oga,
can't
let me
bring it
shock
back.
you. Let me shock you. Wait, please, let me
We'll
finish.
be part of Venezuela or Zimbabwe.
See, Odera, me, I support the government to pay them
The
this 5. Let me
Zimbabwean
finish,
currency
please. Let me finish.
is not
Odera,
backed
let
with
me
gold.
finish, please. Odera, I promise you, if they agree this thing and government actually implements it and makes it mandatory and enforces it, Odera, in 2 years, Somalia will say it with confidence that they are better than Nigeria.
Already they are better. It's like you guys are not listening. Like I said,
Zimbabwe will say they
you
are
peg
better than
currencies to
Nigeria.
the dollar.
So me, I
Listen,
personally agree.
You peg currencies to the dollar. Yeah. Ghana is about 14 cities to a pound, so I don't know how much that will be to a dollar, but it's still within below 100 cities to a dollar.
Their
Egypt,
minimum wage
hold
with the
on.
conversion is
That is
38,000
why.
And
naira.
See,
also,
okay,
order, wait,
master,
maybe you don't know.
master,
Wait, let me
master.
finish
You are in
cooking. You
the
didn't let
UK.
me cooking. You didn't let me
Oh no,
cook.
no,
Let me finish cook before you
master, I
talk
will
about
allow you
UK.
to talk. Master, I will allow
No.
you to talk.
Let me finish, please. Now, when they increase this minimum wage and enforce it now, at this point, not being rude, people are complaining about insecurities in Nigeria. That one will just be 10. Why? Because nobody will want to give their gates. Just common gates man.
See,
Nobody.
master,
Let me cook. Please, when I finish, you can say whatever you want to say. Now, at this point, nobody will be willing to give their common gates man 50K, meaning that the gate man will lose his job. Nobody will want to give a cleaner that just sweeps house from morning to Friday, and maybe she only sweeps twice a week. Nobody will want to give her 500K. Let's be logical. So that the rate of unemployment will skyrocket. You people are talking inflation. Let's not go too fast. You people are jumping too much. People would not pay that one. Right now, people only pay 60K and 50K to their gateman. Why? Because of affordability. Most people don't see 50K as anything to lose. But if you tell me to pay a gateman 500K, most people will tell you no. Let's stop all this rubbish. Nobody, no average Nigerian that has a house in Nigeria right now would be willing to pay their gateman 500K a month. Abi
No,
a year.
it's not, master. It's not nobody would not want to. It's how many
I'm
people
talking
can
of the
afford it.
average
I
Nigerians.
know.
I'm not
That's
talking
what
of.
I'm saying.
No, smoke.
I think other.
Smoke, give me 1 second, because I like to educate people.
Please, not being rude, I've told you,
Master,
no, please, don't use that word when me and you are talking. Odera, please, you say you want to give me your own opinion. You are not, you never reached to educate my daughter, yet alone me, please.
hey, I never reached to educate your data.
Continue.
Okay, come, master. Master, you're supposed to change your name from masters to student, because when the students are ready,
Odera, please,
the
stop
teacher will
talking
appear.
rubbish.
Now,
Odera, please, stop talking
hold on,
rubbish.
because you don't even understand the difference between what do you call it, inflation and purchasing power. You just yeah. Now,
Anything about inflation now. Oga, wait,
now,
please. Odera, don't let me tell you to keep
because
quiet.
I've
Don't let me tell
already,
you.
you are
Odera, please
talking
keep
about
quiet.
Nigeria being bad.
My
I've
brother.
already
Did
told
I
you
say
that we are
anything about
bad. You're
inflation?
not
This
even
is
understanding
why
that we are already
Nigeria
where we think
never
we
Please,
should
agree.
be.
everybody in the comment section, did I say anything about
But this
inflation? All I said is
is why
loss of
Nigeria will
job.
never go forward.
Odera, you are no load.
You see, you are better back those.
Student,
From learning, person want to teach us something. You
Odera,
can
you are
fall back
Olodo
those.
to the
This
power, to the
is
race to the
Nigeria
power
for you.
square.
When
okay,
the
Odera,
president
see,
will want to do something, get fall back those.
See, I came here nicely to agree with your stupid
student,
500K.
student,
Please,
student,
continue on that track.
student,
But you are
student,
Olodo. If you
student,
call me your student, that means there's no future for me.
student.
Oga, if you call me your student, you are indirectly telling me my future is finished.
Go help me. Okay, student, listen. Olu, I need you to listen to me as well. In the UK, we are in the thousands. As we are in the thousands, Nigeria are already in the millions. Do you understand that logic?
No.
So you can take home an average salary of, let's say, 1,002, 1,003 for a graduate. That money is already in millions in Naira if you convert it. Do you understand that?
Why do you want to convert it?
Wait.
I'm giving you a simple
Only you are
logic.
asking the wrong question. My brother, when you convert it, do you then spend the Naira you converted or
Are
UK
you
pounds?
understand? See, listen, follow me. Don't make it difficult, student. Now, I don't think any Nigerian has counted the millions in pounds. We are always, that means our 20 pound, we are already in tens, 20 pounds, but it's already in thousands in naira when you convert. Now, put this same logic to Ghana. Do you understand? So a Ghanaian currency to a naira equivalent, for those of them that are aware, because Ghana devalued the cedis, and when Professor Charles Soludo wanted to devalue the naira, they kicked against it. Before Ghanaians will reach thousands, they're already millions in naira. Do you understand that logic? So now, when explaining that, what you need to understand is that your 494,000 and somebody that is earning 38,000 in Ghana might also have the same purchasing power in dollar based on the conversion rate. Does that logic make any sense?
They don't.
I'm not saying they do perfectly. I'm only giving you a comparison so you understand what I mean in terms of where currencies are. The same thing with Egypt currency. So that said,
is wrong.
Olu, what did you say is their minimum wage?
38,000
Forget that one.
naira.
He's telling your comparison is wrong. Focus on that.
Now, what I'm trying to say in essence is that Ghanaian money to pounds is in the tens to £1. It's not 1,000 something or almost 2,000 to £1. So in Ghana money, you are still going to be in thousands to be in thousands in pounds or dollars. Whereas in naira, when you want to, you will bring millions and then convert it, and you are still in tens or thousands in pounds. So
let
that said,
let me ask you a funny question.
No, sir, don't ask him a question.
Now,
the people in rural area, are they poor?
The people in what?
In the rural area, are they poor?
Yes.
They are poor.
Mm-hmm.
They are richer than you. And
okay. Now,
to you.
No. Hold on.
But
when you say,
they categorize them as people that is living on multi-dimensional poverty. But I can tell you that they are even richer than you.
My brother,
I'm trying to make sense. I'm trying to make sense to students.
Can I ask you a question, please? Can I ask you a question, please? Forget me. Wait, listen, let me ask you. Oga, let me ask you a question, please.
Master, I'm still talking now.
My teacher, let me ask you a question. Sensei. Please, Sensei, I give you respect as my teacher, but you asked the general question, right? And everybody in the comment section has said you are wrong, including our brother here. How many people do you need to tell you are wrong before you actually start taking correction and realize you are wrong? Answer that question, teacher, please.
Listen. I said something, and I need you guys to answer me. I'm going to ask it again.
Everybody has said you are wrong.
Master, students, listen. And I'm asking the three of you. Please, one by one. Is the dollar a currency used for conversion for multiple currencies?
What are you saying? I don't understand.
Smoke, give me answer. Hold on. Don't worry, I will clear you. Smoke. No, hold on now. I went straight to my point. You guys didn't understand, so I have to come back again. So, Smoke, do you understand? Is the dollar used for conversion for multiple currencies? You are muted. So, Smoke is on the call.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is used. What's the objective?
It is. Students, do you agree?
Okay. Give me my correct title. Stop deceiving.
Okay. Now, if you agree, now what I will do is now let me just Google what is Ghana cedis to a dollar. Hold on now. Hold on. Because una know they follow me. Make I help you understand.
What's your point? That's what we are trying to understand.
Don't ask me a question that does not make sense.
No, this is
where are you going?
Hold on. This is my point. This is it. Now it takes okay. Let me ask it dollar to let me switch the question. Dollar to Ghana cedis.
Google, don't confuse this other round.
No. Because sometimes Nigerians is if you guys know where you are in terms of sense, you go pity on yourself. So
Guys,
one US dollar.
pity the most.
Students, one US dollar is equal to 14.9 Ghana cedis. Now let me change this to Nigerian naira.
That's 1,500 or 1,600.
1,485 naira.
400. See, it's even less. Oh, yeah, continue.
So do you guys both in the comment section, do you guys understand that logic?
No.
That $1 is equivalent of 14. They are in tens in cedis. But in naira, we're already in thousands. We are 1,400. So by the time you are getting to 494,000, Baba, somebody that is in Ghana might be earning 38, but his purchasing power, if two of you have to go and spend in either pounds or dollars, you are almost equivalent to somebody in tens. So by that definition, if you understand this logic, if somebody tells you that a minimum wage in Ghana is 38, don't think that a minimum wage in Nigeria should be 30. You guys are not on the same pedestal.
So how did Ghana get involved now?
I am using it to sort of equate why you should not say 60,000 naira.
Do Ghanaians spend Nigerian naira?
Oh, you are still missing the point.
Do you know the inflationary rate in
Odera, you are just back. Odera, you are back flipping like a Powerpuff Girls for nothing.
You know the problem I have with you.
Odera, you are back flipping like a Powerpuff Girls for no reason.
Brother, wait. I have had a privilege to stay in UK, to stay in US, to stay in Nigeria. You are talking from UK perspective. You get? If you hold 3,000 pounds, wait. If you hold 3,000 pounds in that UK, and I hold 1 million naira here in a month, I can save 500,000 naira or 400,000 naira in that money. If we spend based on the same scenario you are spending there, you have a zero amount left with that 3,000 pounds.
By the time
am I going to tell you now to convert that 3,000 pounds, multiply it by 1,700?
No, when they send you light bill, you convert it to naira and say, "Oh, this is what I should be paying in naira."
You know to convert it to that 3,000 pounds, multiply it by 1,700. What are you saying? See, let's just
Odera, I think we need to create a special room for you and put your picture so everybody will know Odera, the Odera. That's what we write.
But wait, Odera, do you understand what they are saying?
Odera can never understand, my brother. If Odera understand, then my legs crack.
No, see, it's very, very difficult, and I'm saying it with every sense of humility. It's very difficult to communicate to Nigerians.
I'm not Nigerian.
Hold on. I am simply telling you. You see, when Peter B was giving you guys statistics,
not being rude. When people were saying political, you were the one saying, "Why are you making it political?" Now you are here shouting Peter Obi. What's your problem?
Wait, I have to try to understand.
Hold on.
Come on, be quiet. Don't call me your student before my future looks bad.
I have successfully shown you that the Ghanaian cedis is a stronger currency, and by that virtue, a stronger purchasing power against the dollar compared to the naira.
What does that have to do with anything?
Now let's leave Ghana. But the point I made. Hold on, follow me. The point I made that what the TUC guy said was that when naira was 18,000, it was $120. Now that the same minimum wage is 30,000, Okay, let me now divide 30,000 by that 1,004. So
Oga, forget this division.
Odera,
What you are
Odera,
doing is not
Odera,
making
because
sense.
you don't understand.
Oga, there's
Odera,
nothing to understand.
It is
Odera,
now $20. Do you understand? So a money that can financially buy you dollar of 120
Odera.
can only buy you $20 now. That means they want to increase the purchasing because there's something you used to peg. And I'm not saying you are spending dollar. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that even if you leave the currency side of it and now come down to inflation, the purchasing power of an average earner, who probably used to earn for 18,000 when fuel was 62 naira. If he carries that same 18,000 or 30,000 now, he cannot buy the fuel he was buying before.
What of
Do you understand?
somebody who's
Odera,
earning
Odera,
minimum
we
wage?
understand that.
What is he
Odera,
doing with fuel?
Odera, we
What is
understand.
the
Okay,
problem
Odera.
with this guy
Oh,
now?
Wait, master,
oh,
What's your
master,
problem?
wait,
It's
master, wait,
not
I am
me
giving you
master,
an
wait,
talking.
A
example.
It's
man that
not
is
me
earning
talking.
30,000 naira. What is he
master,
doing with
wait,
Hold on,
fuel?
It's not
hold
me. It's
on,
Oga Olu. It's not me.
hold on.
Odera,
Hmm?
Odera. Okay, now put yourself in Nigeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put yourself in Nigeria, right? Can you afford to pay someone who is working for you
Your gate man.
490k?
Your gate man. No, your
Now,
gate man.
No, wait, yeah,
Smoke. Thank you
yeah,
for that question because that's one of the things I want to address.
yeah.
Now, and I'm going to ask it as a question. Do
No,
you
no, no.
think?
First answer my own question.
Answer
No,
First.
no, no,
first.
no, no, no,
First,
no, no, no.
Oga,
You're not,
answer
because
first.
you guys have not understood
No,
the
you answer
fundamental
first, then we'll get fundamental.
of
Answer this
minimum
okay.
question.
wage. Now, minimum wage does not apply to pepper seller, does not apply to gate man or your maid or all those things that they release for you. These guys don't understand it.
Whoa, Odera, you don't know
Minimum
anything.
wage is a law.
Odera,
You
you are a
see,
complete.
then
Odera, I see
let's
this with
let's
Ayuta of
end the
South. Let me
conversation.
on my camera.
So you are
Odera, you are
misleading
a
your
complete
follower.
now,
You are misleading
Odera,
Odera,
your
you
go
dey
back to
fuck up.
school.
follower.
Oh.
That's very
Odera,
dangerous.
go back to school. Odera, you are a complete
hold
olodo. Whoever gave
student,
you masters, I will
student,
go under fire his
student,
father. You are a
student,
complete
student,
olodo.
Master,
student, student,
You are a
You
student,
are
olodo with
misleading
this
your
student,
our
followers.
time.
That's it.
student, hold on. Can a cleaner take anybody that employs him or her in Nigeria to court and insist on getting 30,000? I need the answer.
yes,
Yes,
Yes, now.
Yes.
you bloody
Yes,
olodo.
Can
now.
a
That
gate
is the
man?
minimum wage.
Hold on. Can a gate man? Because one thing is what is obtainable in the street. And I need people that are here because I know people that are nurses in Nigeria that are earning 17K. And somebody said on this live that in Zamfara that they paid 8,000 and nothing has happened.
The
So if
the fact that they are not, the
unless
because
mere
we
fact
are
that they are
because
not
dumb,
enforcing their
unless
right.
we
because
are
you don't
dumb,
know
we
your
cannot be
right
Exactly.
doesn't
expecting
mean
people
God.
that
that
are paying
there's no law
8,000
now.
to pay you
Because you don't know
490,000.
your
What
right
we have
doesn't
to
mean that
dwell.
there's no
The fact
law.
that you don't know your
You guys
right
are very quick to
doesn't mean you don't
you
have
guys
a
are
right.
very quick. Listen, you
Exactly.
guys are very quick to show
What are
your
you
stupidity.
saying?
So
Odera,
I will
Guy,
allow you. But
Bongoli said
at
it.
the end of
Odera,
the
let me
day,
ask you a question.
Bongoli, when he was
Odera,
here,
let me ask
said
you a
that some people
question.
are paying
Odera, let me
18,000.
ask you a
There are
question.
people that are
Odera,
paying
let me ask you a
18,000. Federal
question.
governments are begging
Stop
the state
shouting, Odera.
governors,
Let me ask
are
you a
begging them to pay
question.
30,000. And
Odera,
you are
stop
telling me that
shouting
the
like
federal
it.
government agree 494,000.
Odera, let
Everybody
me
was forced to
ask you
pay
a
it.
question,
Are we
Oga.
dumb?
Have you finished? Let me ask you a question. Now, when Bongoli was here, he made a statement. He said the people, this Abia state government, are not paying this 30K minimum
they are
wage.
paying
Odera, if
18,000 now.
listen to my question. If this Abia state cannot even afford this 30K, Oga, where will they get this 400K to pay these people from? Is it your father
Student,
that will give them?
I asked you a question and your answer was insult. I
Oga,
told
forget
you,
that one
listen
because
to
you are
me.
not worthy
I'm
to
going to
teach
ask you that
anybody.
question again. And I want you to be very, very intelligent in your answer. How much is the minimum wage for NYSC?
NYSC, the minimum,
30k.
well, how much they pay coppers?
Yes.
30k.
Like no, they don't pay them up to 30K monthly. No, they monthly they
That's the
give them
last thing
like
I will
8K
say. Bye
monthly or
bye.
It's
so.
See you guys
30k.
later. So you know how much they pay
It's like
NYSC
8K or
directly
so
to
monthly.
federal government.